Everybody, and welcome to this afternoon's broadcast here at Billy and Louise Yarborough Stadium. I'm Greg Poff here with my broadcast partner Zach Poff here on the Solano College Sports Network, bringing you today's exciting Solano baseball action as the Falcons take on visiting the Delta Mustangs. Should be an exciting game. Two of the better teams in all of Northern California, and of course the Delta Mustangs, state champions in 2011. Now for the starting lineups. Let's start with the Delta Mustangs. Leading off, number 8 in center field, Tyler Steeb. Batting second, the hot-hitting second baseman for the Mustangs, number 2, Stevie Robinson. Batting third, the catcher, Jordan DeVincenzi. Batting fourth, number 19, the designated hitter, Wyatt Castro. Next up, number 6 at third base, Connor Torres. Batting 6, C.J. Owens. He'll be at first base. He'll be followed by Matt Vera, the shortstop. Rudy Perez will be in right field. And rounding out the lineup, number 7, Josh Bailey. He'll be in left field for the Mustangs. And on the hill, number 9, Cody Lane comes in with a 1.50 ERA. 1-0 on the season in 6 innings pitched for the Mustangs. Now for the Solano Falcons, leading off. In center field, number 17, Jordan Tolbert. Batting second. In left field, number 3, Edgar Ibarra. Batting third in right field, number 6, Zach Wells. Getting the start at first base today in the cleanup position, number 11, Nick Spini. Next up, number 1 at third, Tucker Bishop. Batting fifth, number 22, Alex Crosby will be the designated hitter. Batting 7th will be Justin Quilliton at second. Batting 8th, number 2, David Fernandez will be at short. And number 9, Aaron Brasher, the catcher, number 21. And on the hill, number 28, Anthony Pizzola comes in. He's pitched 10.1 innings, 1.74 ERA, no decision. Should be an excellent matchup here, folks. And we're just about set for the opening pitch. And I'll turn it over to my broadcast partner, Zach Poff.
Thank you for that great intro, sir. It takes a lot off of my chest, able to still prepare and get ready for today's game. We got a great game on tap here for you today. Solano College Sports Network. I'm Zach Poff here with Greg Poff. Heard him earlier breaking down the lineups. Anthony Pizzola, the sophomore righty on the hill for Solano. He's pitched pretty well this season so far. 2 starts, 2 no decisions, but most importantly, the Falcons still found a way to win both those games due in large part to Pizzola's success on the hill. And it's pretty remarkable when you look at it. Anthony Pizzola was on Falcons' team last year, but wasn't even a pitcher. He was a position player for Solano last year, did not pitch in 1 game, and so far after this year, you could say he's their best pitcher through the first couple weeks of non-conference games. Yeah, what I like about Pizzola, very cagey pitcher. You know, he's given up a few walks and he's been in some jams, but boy, when he's in tough situations, that's when Pizzola usually pitches at his best, and he's going to need it today against a very good Delta Mustang squad. And boy, you look at the Falcons, they've had some exciting games thus far this semester, or this semester. I'm trying to get out of the classroom, baby. Thus far this season, and they're going to need an excellent game to see if they can put away Delta, stay undefeated at home here at Billy and Louise Yarborough Stadium. Here we go. We are set for the first pitch. Pizzola, Brasher, the battery for Solano. Steve, leadoff hitter, takes strike 1, the right-handed batter. Center fielder for Delta, batting .338 this year, has an OPS at 1.056. Not too shabby for your leadoff hitter.
Yeah, and he's a sophomore. He's a veteran player. Delta, a lot of guys getting a chance to start this year. They lost a lot of players from last year.
0-1, little low and outside. Count now 1-1. Home plate umpire Cecil Belkin behind the dish. Gary DeFabio, the infield umpire.
Steve was one of those freshmen that got a lot of playing time last year. And he's off to a solid start this season. As you said, Zach, hitting .333 coming in today's contest.
1-1. Outside corner, right at the knees. Perfect location for Pizzola. And we'll have to wait and see if Belkin's going to keep giving that outside corner here throughout the game. The 1-2. This one smoked to center. Right at Tolbert. 1 up, 1 down for Pizzola.
Steve hit it well, but right to Jordan Tolbert. And Jordan Tolbert really has looked pretty effective out in center field. Had a solid game against Mission. On Tuesday, made some nice catches for the Falcons.
Stevie Robinson has the highest batting average in all of California He's only batting .647 so far this year. 11 runs batted in for the second baseman, Stevie Robinson. This one cut. Trying to take our camera out up here up top.
Yeah, he's cut 11 hits and 11 runs batted in, so when he hits the ball, he makes it count. Stevie Robinson playing second. Boy, he and Steve really good batters at the top of this very tough Delta squad.
Robinson, right-handed hitter, sophomore out of Lincoln High. Smokes this one. Fernandez fields it, tricky hop. Easy throw. 2 up, 2 down for Pizzola. And yesterday's game, what a crazy game out in Stockton, San Joaquin Delta, where Solano had to travel in yesterday's game. Lost that one 4-3, a walk-off hit for Rudy Perez in the bottom of the ninth. And it's the first time these two teams have faced off in the regular season since 2008. Of course, remember that remarkable playoff series for Delta, of course.
2009.
Swept Solano 2-0.
That Delta team went all the way to the state championship finals, lost to Orange Coast College in the state championship game. So you look at this Delta team as that pitch is over for a strike. Boy, in 2011, they won the state championship. In 2009, they were the runner-up. So really solid program under head coach Reed Peters, the Delta Mustangs.
And they're just happy it's an odd year this year. 2009, lost runner-up in the state championship. 0-1, catches the outside corner, count now 0-2 to the number 3 hitter, the catcher, Jordan Devin Sensi. Bat .294 this year with 4 runs batted in.
Yeah, this kid's solid hitter, excellent catcher.
0-2, just misses the inside corner, so the count 1-2.
And one thing Pizzola's going to do, he's going to change speeds a lot on his pitches. That first strike to Devin Chenzi took a little bit off that one.
And Devin Chenzi got the day off yesterday. This one, hit to right. Got a chance to be fair, and just fair as Wells gets to it. Holds Devin Chenzi to a 2-out single.
Boy, not fair by much, was it, Zach? That just landed about 6 inches inside fair territory. Zach Wells, good job over there. Cut it off, get it in, and hold Devin Chenzi to a single.
So that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Wyatt Castro, the designated hitter, batting .286 this season. 1 run batted in. Castro, the freshman out of Antelope High. Righty-on-righty matchup with Anthony Pizzola. Don't have to worry about Devin Chenzi too much over at first base. First pitch high and outside, ball 1.
Delta in the road grays with the black numbers, gold trim. Falcons in their light blue jerseys today at home Saturday afternoon. White bottoms.
It makes
and
me
the royal
depressed.
blue tops.
It makes me a little depressed because they got that North Carolina color on it. My Tar Heels aren't playing that well this year.
Oh, yeah.
The 1-0 high and outside, ball 2.
Yeah, they're wearing the North Carolina colors on the jerseys, but you look at the hats, still rocking the Duke blue, baby.
Yeah, you can't do
I guess
that.
that's why they're on top, huh?
Devin Sensi over at first. 2-0 count, 2 down. Wyatt Castro in the batter's box. The 2-0. Brasher, a quick throw to first. And excellent slide by Devin Sensi. The throw beat him there, but Devin Sensi able to get his hand around the tag. And the count now 3-0.
And Brasher threw to the right side of Speeney. If I think that's to his left side, he's able to get the tag down and probably gets the out there.
Brasher shows off his cannon.
Yeah, he's got an arm, baby. He can throw it.
And Stover was telling us he thinks Brasher could very well be the best defensive catcher he's ever had, and he's had some pretty good catchers. They gave Castro the green light on 3-0, swing and a miss, count now 3-1.
Yeah, that was a nice pitch by Pizzola, right at the knees. Reed Peters, the head coach of the Mustangs, showing a lot of faith.
Peters in his 6th year, and we'll break down his bio as the game goes on. A pretty impressive resume. This one fouled straight back, so the count's full. Devin Sensi will be on the move after the pitch with 2 down, full count.
Yeah, you know the manager, head coach thinks you can hit when he gives you the green light and it's a 3-0 count.
I mean, every cleanup hitter's got the green light, right?
Castro, left-handed hitter. Facing the righty Pizzola.
Runner takes off, swing and a miss. Pizzola gives up 1 hit in the top half of the first. Scoreless going to the bottom half. Now we get a look at the right-handed sophomore out of Tokay High School. Cody Lane has only made 1 start this year, went 6 innings, only allowed 1 earned. Did get the W in that game. Jordan Tolbert leading off for the Solano Falcons.
Yeah, you look at this pitching staff as a whole, Zach. Am I misreading this? 2.21 ERA.
Hey, for once your eyes are working. So.
Goodness gracious.
First pitch low in the dirt, ball one.
I mean, Delta 6 games in, 2.21 ERA. Not too shabby.
1-0 inside corner, strike one, and Tolbert on the year at 222. Does have a good on base percentage at 417. Led off in yesterday's game, went 0 for 2, but did draw 2 walks. Took a little off. Tolbert out in front, count now 1-2.
Yeah, you look at Tolbert's batting average, 222, not that impressive, but boy, with that on base percentage, 417, he's been on base a lot, and he's got great speed.
The 1-2 from Lane comes with the curve, just a little low. Count now even at 2-2. Scott Stover in his 11th season as the manager for the Solano Falcons has 5 BBC championships to his name. The 2-2 inside corner, strike 3 as Tolbert takes. So 1 up, 1 down, 1 strikeout for Cody Lane.
And Edgar Ibarra
played on Rodriguez's
That's
championship team last season. Getting the start in left, as you mentioned, sir. The freshman's batting .273 this year, on base percentage at .385.
I felt bad after the last game. I thought he was Gio Torres and said, "Hey, Gio, nice game-winning hit." He goes, "I'm Edgar." And you think I know, I had him in class. Sorry, Edgar.
That's what happens when you get old.
Oh, boy.
You know, it just starts going downhill, right?
I wish they could wear numbers in the classroom. That'd be easier.
1-0, little high and outside, count out 2-0. Just start calling them by numbers, right?
Yeah. Hey, number 3, you failed. Get out of here.
Did he actually get a good grade in your class, at least?
Yeah, good kid.
2-0, high, count 3-0 to Ibarra. And no one's Stover. Ibarra's not swinging here on the next 2 pitches.
Real quiet kid, nice kid.
Most baseball kids are kind of quiet unless your name's Nick Spini, right? 3-0, outside corner, strike 1. Nice pitch by Cody Lane. Zach Wells on deck. .385 batting average. Hoping he can hit with Ibarra on base. 3-1, right down the middle. Count now full. Good job by Lane. Battling back. Fell down to the count 3-0. Now 3-2.
Yeah, Cody Lane looks impressive so far. Works quickly.
3-2. Ibarra gets a piece. Stays full. And Delta coming in 5-1 on the season. Solano 4-2. And Solano's had a lot of late game magic so far this season, but Delta had the late game magic yesterday. Ibarra high chopper, going to be a tough play for the shortstop. Actually, the second baseman fields it. Robinson, and Ibarra beats it out easily, and it's a perfectly placed ball. Impossible for Stevie Robinson to make the play.
He kind of chopped that into the turf, and it looked like it created some backspin, so the ball actually coming away from Stevie Robinson as he charged to get it. And veteran move by Robinson, not even trying to make the throw, possibly throw it away. Kept that one in his back pocket, gives up the infield hit, and Falcons trying to get something going here in the bottom of the first.
And with Wells up, you could maybe see a hit and run here for Solano with 1 down. Ibarra, good speed over at first. Wells, little chin music, ball 1.
Yeah, Wells at the start of the season was in the number 2 spot, but Stover wants to get him in that 3 spot. He can swing a little bit more, not have to sacrifice.
And Crosby was in the 2 spot yesterday as Wells hits a chopper to third. Over to second for 1. Stevie to first. Not in time to turn the double play, but Connor Torres, the third baseman, does get the lead runner at second. So 2 down. Wells now at first.
Yeah, just hit probably a little too slowly to be able to get the double play. Good hustle by Wells, sprinting down the base paths to beat that one out, keep the inning alive.
Give Nick Spini a chance, and you know this guy loves coming up with 2 outs. He can actually swing for some pop. Only batting .190 this year. Does have 3 runs batted in. And Spini is going to be playing all over the place this year. We'll see him at first in some games. We'll see him out in the corner outfield spot, most likely left field with Zach Wells owning right field. Spini, the lefty, takes the first pitch fastball, strike 1. And as you mentioned earlier, Cody Lane kind of busting out his Cliff Lee out there, works fast.
He is in a hurry.
And it's kind of like Ethan Gibbons used to be for Solano. And we'll talk about Ethan Gibbons as his broadcast goes. He's off to a 2-0 start this season.
And playing with Patrick Johnson now,
Patrick
right?
Johnson's playing outstanding baseball, batting .307 this year. Finished the season batting .349 last year with Scott Crutel. Of course, Scott Crutel was done after last season. Now it's the Patrick Johnson and Ethan Gibbons show in Missouri.
Missouri Baptist, I think?
Yes, sir. Quick throw to first. Wells back standing up.
Because I know Gibbons, when he left Solano, went to Central Missouri. Things didn't work out there, so goes down to Missouri Baptist. And as you said, off to a good start, so is Bubba Johnson as well.
Yeah, Missouri Baptist is 3-4 on the season. Gibbons has 2 of those 3 wins to his name. 0-1. Speeney got fooled. Count now 0-2. C.J. Owens, the first baseman, holding Zach Wells close.
You know who else is playing really well? Former Solano pitcher.
Derek Crenshaw. Oh.
Well, Derek Crenshaw's doing work with the bat, but Kagan Hopkins up at Chico State.
Last year he made 18 starts, had an ERA under 4. This year he's had 2 relief appearances. 0-2 pitch, hit foul out of play, so the count 0-2. You know what the one thing I do miss about Kagan Hopkins though?
Yeah, drop kick Murphy,
yes,
baby.
Sir.
We got to get Altman a song.
Yeah, let's do that.
Because boy, he's been money coming in the ninth.
2
Altman,
saves this
2
year.
saves. You're right.
Second in the BVC.
And Derek Crenshaw, I forget where he's playing, but he had a big game the other day, 4 for 4.
I believe he's at Eastern New Mexico University.
Yeah, sounds familiar. Younger brother of Dustin Crenshaw, former Solano pitcher, now the pitching coach for the Falcons.
So Cody Lane gave up an infield single to Ibarra. Wells grounded out. Fielder's choice. He's now at first, 2 down. Quick throw to first. Wells gets his hand back in safely.
Pretty good throw over by Lane there.
He's got a very good pickoff move for a righty.
C.J. Owens over at first base. Stevie Robinson at second for the Mustangs. Matt Vera at short and Connor Torres at third. Jordan DeVincenzi behind the plate. Pretty good catcher. And Cody Lane, boy, he's looked pretty good here in the first.
1-2. Wells takes off. Throw to second. Wide right. Wells gets in safely. So now a runner in scoring position with 2 down.
And that throw a little bit high by DeVincenzi. I think if that throw is down low at the bag, they got a chance to get Wells.
So once again, Jeremy Johnson rocking the camera here, doing an outstanding job here with Solano College Sports Network. He was a part of the broadcast in Solano's 1-point victory, the last home game of the season yesterday. 2-2 outside, so Speeney fell down the count 0-2. Now the count's full.
Big win for the men's basketball team. I don't think I have ever seen
Nagel
Coach
so
Nagel.
happy.
He was just ecstatic after the game. And why wouldn't he? He worked so hard. He's done such a good job here with the Falcons. But, boy, they beat a pretty good team last night, Merritt College.
Merritt now 10-4, 3rd place in the BVC, a big blow for that squad. Speeney pops this one up a mile high. Stevie Robinson gets under it. Doesn't even have to move an inch. Wells stranded at second, so through 1. No score so far here at Billy and Luis Yarborough Stadium. Leading off here in the top of the second, Connor Torres, the 3rd baseman, batting .250 on the year. C.J. Owens due up second. Matt Vera, the shortstop, due up 3rd here in the top of the second. Pizzola.
I got it.
Let's not get carried away now. You know, that'd be a scary moment. If I had to depend on you to make the play, I'll just call it quits.
Hey, I was a much better ball player than
What, 30
you
years ago? I was a stud pitcher back in the day, all right?
Little lefty, yeah, I remember.
0-1 fouled. Tommy Pavesi can't make the play. Of course, Pavesi was known for his bat, not his glove.
And what you did really well is just setting the ball on that tee. I mean, just always evenly balanced, set it up.
I still found a way to strike people out, all right? 0-2. Right down the middle, also a little off the plate. Count now 1-2, and Pizzola not working as quick as Cody Lane. A 1-2. Little low. Excellent take by Torres. Connor Torres, the freshman out of Granada High School. 5'11", a $190. Torres 2 for 4 in yesterday's 4-3 victory for Delta. The 2-2 high and inside. Count now full, so excellent job by Torres. Fell down in the count, 1-2. Now the count's full. And that's been one of the issues for Pizzola this year, has been his walk to strikeout ratio. 7 walks and 6 strikeouts for Pizzola. The 3-2. Nice cut. Fouled straight back. Do it all over again.
A couple of those walks came in that opening game, though, against DVC. And there were a couple times where he was just pitching carefully, pitching around guys with runners in scoring position. And so he's given up some strategic walks.
The 3-2 catches the inside part of the plate, strike 3. And so far here early on, Cecil Belkin's strike zone has been definitely a benefit for the pitchers.
Yeah, and even that pitch, Torres took that one a little bit earlier in the at-bat and got the ball. He's thinking he's going to get the same call, but not so fast, kid. That's a strike. Go have a seat. And up comes C.J. Owens.
C.J. Owens, a freshman out of St. Mary's High. Takes strike 1. Owens batting .154 on the year. 2 for 13.
St. Mary's High, of course, big football program in Stockton. That's where Delta is, Stockton, California.
0-1. Hit out of play. Count now 0-2. And Reed Peters in his 6th season as the Delta head coach. As you mentioned earlier, they won the 2011 California Community College Championship. They were the state runner-up in 2009. Orange Coast College got them in Game 7. They've missed the postseason in every even year so far. So Delta's got to make the playoffs this year, right? 0-2. Swing and a miss for Owens. So 2 up, 2 down for Pizzola. And Reed Peters has an excellent resume to his credit. He was the coach at Feather River from 2004 to 2007. They made the playoffs every single season. They were in the top 20 in all 4 of those years also. In 2007, his last year there, perfect 25-0 in the Golden Valley Conference for Reed Peters. Was also the manager of Air Force Academy.
Really?
From 99 to 2003. First pitch, fouled straight back over our heads. He was the 2002 Mountain West Coach of the Year at Air Force. He won more conference games in his first 3 years than any other coach in Air Force history. Played his college ball at UNLV, back when UNLV had some pretty darn good basketball squads too.
The Shark, Jerry Tarkanian.
0-1, little outside for ball 1. The crazy thing about Peters, though, in his 3 years at UNLV, he started and played in every inning of every game during his 3-year tenure. Got his Cal Ripken on there at UNLV. A 1-1, fouled straight back, so the count's 1-2. He was an all-Big West first team in 1986 and 1987. He led the Big West in home runs with 18 bombs in his junior season. Then he was drafted by the California Angels in the 12th round of the 87 draft. Played in the Angels and Giants minor leagues organizations for 7 years. And his brother, Rex Peters, twin brother. This one, a chopper to third, just foul. His twin brother, Rex Peters, assistant coach down at UCLA. And UCLA's been one of the better baseball programs here over the last decade.
Yeah, they've really kind of taken over that town where it used to be USC in baseball. Just dominant. Rod Dato, the great USC coach. In fact, SC just fired the baseball coach last week, I believe. So UCLA, really big baseball program. Well, it kind of makes sense why Delta's so doggone good. They got a guy who knows quite a bit about baseball.
The 1-2. This one hit to right at Zach Wells. 1-2-3 inning for Anthony Pizzola through 1.5. No score here at Solano. Tucker Bishop leading off here in the bottom of the second in the 5-hole here for Scott Stover and his Falcons. Alex Crosby due up second. JQ, Justin Quillayton due up third in the inning. Tucker Bishop off to a phenomenal start here this year, batting .360 with 6 runs batted in, and he was one of the bright spots in yesterday's game. 2 for 4 with 2 of the 3 runs batted in by Tucker Bishop. 1-0 inside, count 2-0.
The Falcons yesterday went toe-to-toe with this Delta team, finally losing that in the bottom of the 9th. Falcons are used to being on the winning end of those bottom of the 9th wins.
Tucker smokes this one to third off the glove of Connor Torres. Has time to make the throw, but an errant throw gets away. Bishop thinking 2, and he is going to walk into second, so that is going to be an E5 on Connor Torres.
Yeah, Torres just rushed his throw. A good throw, though, I think, gets Bishop. Bishop, not the fastest guy getting down the base pass. He sure was chugging hard, though.
Yeah, Torres did an outstanding job to stay with the play. Just had to force the throw, and just a little errant over the head of C.J. Owens. So Tucker Bishop now in scoring position with nobody out. Alex Crosby coming up. Bad in the second spot yesterday. Stover elected to move him down in the order. Get a little more pop. Guys that can bat some runs in. And Stover knows what he's doing. He's got Tucker Bishop in scoring position with nobody out. Crosby in the 6th hole here. He's batting .345 this year. 1 home run and 3 runs batted in. The usual first baseman for Solano, but DH gets the bunt down to third. Lane fields it. Strong throw to first. Crosby, perfect execution. Gets Bishop over to third, 90 feet away with 1 down here in the bottom of the 2nd.
Boy, and the Falcons all season playing a lot of small ball, moving the runners over, getting them in scoring position. And thus far this season, guys have been coming through and getting those key RBIs for the Falcons.
And Delta electing to play the infield in here early on in the bottom of the 2nd. Justin Quillayton has been off to a nice start here this year, batting .308 with 4 runs batted in. Had a walk-off, or not a walk-off home run, but hit a home run in the top of the 20th inning in Solano's first game that took 2 days. Solano won that one 6-4 in 20. Solano 4-2 on the year. They've only finished with a winning record in non-conference 1 time since 2007.
Was that 2007?
The 2011 squad went 8-4.
That's right.
The 2008 team and the 2007 teams both finished right at 500.
And I think it might have been the 2007 team that started off 5-0.
Quillayton hits this one up the box. RBI single for JQ. Crosby comes in to score. 1-0 Solano here in the bottom of the 2nd.
And that's what the Falcons have been doing all year, getting guys on, moving the runners over, and getting those key hits. And JQ, he's had a few of those.
Now looking at head coach Scott Stover in his 11th season, he has 5 Bay Valley Conference championships to his resume. Won 5 straight from 2007 to 2011. Falcons have made the playoffs 6 times under Stover. Last year ended that 6-year streak of postseason play for Solano. They've won 191 games from 2006, the 8th most in all of Northern California. First pitch a little high for ball 1.
And I would argue, Zach, I think last year may have been Stover's best year managing this team as a head coach with all those freshmen, and still had a chance to still win the Bay Valley Conference going into that last series against Laney.
Fernandez gets a nice bunt down the 3rd. Torres comes in, fields it, throw to first.
Safe.
Not in time as Fernandez gets the bunt single. So now runners at 1st and 2nd. Crosby now standing at 2nd base in scoring position with the number 9 hitter, Aaron Brasher, coming up. And he's been in a little bit of a slump here to start off the season. 1 for 19, batting .053. But I don't think Stover really cares what he does at the plate. He just wants him to be in control, be that pitcher, and be the kind of the captain for the pitching staff. And he's done that so far this year. Pitching has been phenomenal for Solano this year. And it was good to see Ryan Anderson finally get on track yesterday. Went 6 innings.
That was big.
Only allowed 2 earned runs, allowed 4 hits.
Well, big chance for Brasher here.
Takes a strong cut, swing and a miss.
And Brasher just off to a slow start. And the one thing with Brasher, though, he doesn't have to worry about getting taken out of the lineup. He's going to be the everyday catcher. So go up, take your rips, and pretty soon good things will start happening. Just try to relax, stay confident.
I think he's just maybe trying to do a little too much so far. We saw this last year in non-conference game with Brasher. Lays off the curve, but it catches the lower part of the plate right at the knee, so the count now 0-2. And
that was a filthy pitch by Lane.
There's not much you can do about that pitch. You're just hoping that Cecil Belkin calls out one a ball. The 0-2 from Lane. High and inside, count now 1-2 to Aaron Brasher. And looking at Stover, his 233 wins since he became the head coach of Solano in 2003. 2nd most in school history. You know who's number 1, right?
In baseball?
Solano baseball. Stan McWilliams.
I knew it was Stan somebody. I was thinking McMichaels.
Coached here for 30 years, 56 to 1986. 1-2 just misses. A tough pitch to take for Aaron Brasher.
And Torres, the 3rd baseman.
I was about to say, exactly. The same pitch Torres took in the top half of the inning was called strike 3.
Torres going, what do I got to do to get a break in this game? He's had some tough chances at 3rd in this inning as well. So
count 2-2. Quillayton Almost got picked off, got his hand in just in time, back at second.
Yeah, just got under the tag by Stevie Robinson coming over from second. Cody Lane, pretty good move there.
A strikeout would be huge, but I'm pretty sure Lane would just prefer double play. One down, two on. 2-2 pitch from Lane. This one smoked down the third base line, just foul. So do it all over again, and then looking at Stover back again. Stan McWilliams is the only Solano Falcon ever elected into the CCCBCA's Hall of Fame. He was elected in 1998, and they started their Hall of Fame in the early 80s. I would make the argument that McGraw's got to be in the Hall of Fame somewhere. But
he is.
It wasn't, they didn't go all the way back that far.
Yeah, I just remember.
2-2. Hit right at Matt Vera. Tosses to second for the out. And that was a very close play, but just able to beat David Fernandez hustling into second. So runners on the corners with two down. Back to the top of the order with Jordan Tolbert. And Cody Lane got the best of Tolbert in the first at-bat. Struck him out.
Yeah, I remember when I was speaking at the Hall of Fame banquet this past October, Tug McGraw saw his picture. They had a nice little table set up, and they had the people who were inducted into the Hall of Fame for each year with some pictures, articles, things like that. Tug McGraw, arguably the best pitcher, right, out of Solano.
Oh, yeah, I don't think you're going to get much arguments out of that.
And he really had the key out pitching to get Solano to the state championship game in 1964.
Tolbert takes the first pitch right on the inside corner, strike one.
Solano was playing Fresno in that game in 64. I believe they were up like 7-2 going into the ninth, gave up a couple runs. Tug McGraw came in, closed the door, got him into the state championship where they ended up losing that game.
And the Falcons going to their Falcon play. Brasher trying to beat the tag. The tag is applied before the run comes in to score. Excellent defense by Delta. Knew exactly what to do when the Falcons busted out their secret play. I don't want to give any secrets away. So once again, after two, the Falcons get one unearned run. 1-0 lead for Solano after two. So the hero from yesterday's game, Rudy Perez, leading off here in the top of the third. Josh Bailey, the number 9 hitter, due up second, and back to the top of the order with Tyler Steve. Perez with a walk-off single in the bottom of the ninth yesterday. Nice cut, fouls it straight back. So far, Pizzola's been in control. He's only allowed one hit through two. Most importantly, no walks for Pizzola. 3 strikeouts so far.
Yeah, 3 Ks in a row. Struck out Castro to end the first. Ooh.
And then got Vera to fly out to Wells to end the last inning, but did have 3 strikeouts in a row before that.
Yeah, had Castro to end the first and then started off striking out Torres and C.J. Owens in the second. So he's retired 4 in a row.
Perez, 158 average this year. 1-1 low, count now 2-1. Perez has only had 3 hits this year, but one of those hits was a big-time hit. Got Delta their 5th win on the season. Delta's been impressive this year, has only lost 1 time. A little chin music inside. Count now 3-1. Delta's only loss came February 7th at West Valley. They lost 4-3. They've rolled off 3 straight since that loss.
Yeah, and that was a 3-game series with West Valley.
The 3-1, low, leadoff walk for Rudy Perez. So could very well see the number 9 hitter, Josh Bailey, get down the sac bunt here to try and get Perez into scoring position.
So Delta trying to get that run back.
You knew he was going to walk him there, right? The broadcaster's jinx, full effect right there. Sorry, Stover. Bailey, 250 on the year, shows bunt, pulls it back outside, ball 1.
So the Pez dispenser, Anthony Pezzola.
Is that what they call him, or are you going with that?
I'm going with that.
All right. Kind of like it. It's all right. Not as corny as you usually are, but.
Yeah, that kind of fits, I think, right?
I like it. I like it a little bit.
The Pez dispenser needs a ground ball right here.
1-0. Bailey smokes this one out of play down the left side. Perez was on the move, has to scamper back now to first after the foul ball.
So Josh Bailey at the plate, and he's a freshman. Getting a start today. A lot of times he'll come in later in games in the outfield for defensive purposes. Excellent outfielder.
Gets the bunt down. Pizzola fields it. Goes to second. Airmails the throw into center field. Perez is going to get to third easily as Josh Bailey holds up on first, and Pizzola just rushed the throw, and no chance for Fernandez or Quillayton to even get close to making the play. So now runners on the corners after the E1 on Pizzola.
Boy, and how many times do you see that? Runner on first, bunt. Pitcher thinks he has a chance to get the lead runner and doesn't, and just airmail. That one wasn't even close. He actually threw it kind of between the second base bag and out towards right center field. Good job by Tolbert getting in and making sure he checked the runner at first to not let him move.
Stover having some fun with Pizzola. It's like, dude, it's the third inning. You're up by one. Let's just get the run out at first. That was a quick message delivered by Stover. I don't think you want to get in that guy's doghouse.
And Stover is so big on fundamentals. Get the out, even if the runner goes down. But Pizzola, he did have a chance to get that lead runner at second. Good throw gets that runner, but that was not a good throw.
So back to the top of the order, Tyler Steeb takes the first pitch, strike one, outside corner fastball. So the Falcons playing double play depth. Tucker Bishop kind of in at third, just in case the speedster Steve tries to get down the bunt.
Maybe we shouldn't go with the Pez dispenser.
Tried the faked third to first look, and Major League Baseball decided to get rid of that move now. You can no longer fake the third and then try and go to first. That would be considered a balk in the game of baseball, but rule hasn't changed quite yet here in community college baseball. Quick throw to first. Nice job by Spina to dig that one out of the dirt.
Spina, pretty good first baseman, actually started at first base as a freshman, and that's how he broke his wrist and ended the season last year.
And that's
Collision
really when
first.
Solano's season kind of got out of hand. When Spina went down, they started playing great baseball in conference, and then Spina went down with the wrist injury. Steve pokes this one. Left center, Ibarra gets it, wisely just throws it into second. We're all tied up as Rudy Perez comes in to score on the sacrifice fly for Tyler Steep, his fourth RBI on the season now.
So the throwing error cost Pizzola, and Delta ties this thing up.
So far, both runs in today's game have both been unearned.
And as you said, very fundamental, solid play by the freshman Ibarra.
Well, he just saw Stover come out and have a piece of Pizzola. He's like, you know what, I'm not even going to try here. I don't want to get pulled out in the third inning. Stevie Robinson, 647 batting average on the year. Grounded out to Fernandez. Little hit and run. Quillayton fields it, only play to first. Easy throw, 2 down. Josh Bailey now in scoring position at second.
Good, solid, fundamental baseball by the Mustangs. Moving the runner over again, getting in scoring position, and Devin Chenzi, pretty good guy to be at the plate with runners in scoring position.
And Robinson does his job. Hit and run was on. Just got a piece of it. Hit it to the right side. Definitely trying to poke it between second and first, but he will take the productive out.
Devin Chenzi has 4 runs batted in on the season. Would like to get it to 5 here and give his teammates a lead.
Takes low, ball 1, and Devin Chenzi hit a tailing ball to right field for a 2-out single in the first inning. That is still the only hit that Pizzola has allowed so far.
And I forgot about that, Zach. It gives him 5 runs batted in on the season.
Still at 4. Just had a 2-out single in his first at-bat. Tyler Steeve got the RBI. Right. 4 RBIs now for the leadoff man. And the most impressive thing about Tyler Steeve, he has an OPS at 1.056. Remarkable for a leadoff hitter. Miguel Cabrera didn't even have an OPS that high last year when he won the Triple Crown. But, of course, he played in 150 games. The 1-1, 2 down, low. Count now 2-1 to the number 3 hitter, Jordan Devin Senzi. 294 average this year. Wyatt Castro, the DH, on deck.
Boy, you go back to that throwing there by Pizzola. He just gets the out at first. Bam, he's in the dugout. Still up by a run.
Bailey with a nice lead at second. Pizzola. This one smoked to right center. Wells going back. Gets there easily. Delta does get a run on the board. RBI sacrifice fly for the leadoff hitter, Tyler Steve. So through 2.5, all tied up, 1 apiece. Bottom of the third. Tolbert was in the batter's box in the bottom of the second inning. And he gets a chance again after Brasher got tagged out trying to get to second, trying to allow Colayton to come in and score. Tolbert takes the first pitch low, ball 1. So far, Cody Lane has allowed 3 hits through 2. The 1 run scored was unearned. 1-0. Hit up the box. Shortstop Vera gets it. Nice throw to first. Easily for Vera. Made that look a lot easier than it should have been.
Yeah, took a weird little hop, and he had to adjust where his mitt was at the last minute, able to stay with it, handle the bad hop, and makes a nice throw.
So Jordan Tolbert now 0 for 2. And the catcher, number 12, Jordan Devin Chenzi. I feel I need to lose my Italian card. I've been butchering the poor guy's name for 2+ innings, and the guy that's not even Italian has to tell me how to say an Italian name. This one weakly hit to short. 1 pitch to Ibarra, 2 down.
Well, see, the Italians just never learned to spell. If it's cha, then throw an H in, right? C-H. But the name is D-E-V-E-N.
You know what, though? I like it better that way than the Samoan way where you got to pronounce all those vowels and all the fun stuff. I don't like that. I'll take a secret letter here and there. I'll throw in a secret H. That's cool. So 2 down. Lane working quick here in the bottom of the third. Delta got a run on the board in the top half. Lane trying to get out of this inning quick. First pitch to Zach Wells. Ball 1. And Wells reached on a fielder's choice in the first. Ended up stealing a base, but was stranded at second. Wells chops this one foul. Count 1-1. Wells batting .385 on the season. Preseason All-American. Wells, Crosby, and Ryan Anderson were the 3 preseason All-Americans for the Falcons this season. Wells and Crosby both off to good starts this year. Ryan Anderson has been off to a little slow start here, but pitched very well yesterday, went 6 innings. Only allowed 2 earned runs.
Yeah, he had blown pretty decent leads in his first 2 starts.
Weren't they up 6-0 against San Mateo? Or 1-1. Wells fouls this one straight back. Count now 1-2. So Cody Lane 1 strike away from getting a 1-2-3 inning here in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, in the home opener against DVC, I think he was up 6-2 going into the third. Ended up letting that one get away. Solano eventually won that game, though.
Wells, weakly hit to third. Torres fields it. Strong throw to first. 1-2-3 inning for Cody Lane. Through 3. Still tied up, 1 apiece. Top of the fourth. 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up for the Delta Mustangs. Wyatt Castro smokes this one right up the box on the first pitch here in the top of the fourth. Leadoff single for Castro. Now 1 for 2 on the afternoon, and what a beautiful day it is here at Billy and Luis Yarborough Stadium. Once again, you're checking out Zach Poff here with Greg Poff, Solano College Sports Network, bringing you Solano baseball, and we got a couple of games coming up this week. February 19th, this Tuesday against Monterey. We'll be bringing you that one, and then next Saturday,
Santa Rosa, right?
Bam. Connor Torres, high and tight, little chin music, ball 1.
Another one of those tough Big 8 teams coming to town.
And it's been pretty impressive for Solano to start 4-2 non-conference with a team that they played well last year. And just the mixture of sophomores and freshmen this year has been huge for Stover. He pretty much got every kid he wanted recruiting. The 1-0 just catches the inside corner, so the count now 1-1 to Connor Torres, and Pizzola got the best of Torres in his first at-bat. Struck him out to lead off the second.
Well, they opened the season with those 2 wins against DVC, as you said. I think DVC ranked 11th or 12th in the state.
And then San Mateo, they split. San Mateo was ranked preseason #1. This one bunted foul.
And San Mateo off to a rough start. I think they're 2-5, maybe 2-6 on the season. And Consumnes River, they were the #2 team. I think they're 1-5
and of
on
course,
the season.
Stover's alma mater. Consumnes
right.
River won it all last year. Stover had to be a little happy, right? He'd prefer it with Solano, but I think that's his #2 option.
Yeah, always some love for your alma mater. Played there 2 years. Put up some big numbers, too, back in his playing days.
The 1-2, off speed, got Torres looking. So the second time he struck out Torres. 4th strikeout on the afternoon now for Pizzola.
And you were talking earlier about Reed Peters, the Delta coach, and all his experience, the things that he's done. Boy, Coach Stover, also very impressive resume. And he's just done an incredible job turning the program around here at Solano when he took over the helm of the baseball program back in 2003.
And I think the one thing Stover would be most proud of is 85% of his players have moved on to 4-year schools. Pretty impressive for Stover. He's been able to send a lot of kids out. There's been a lot of talent that's come through here at Solano, and a lot of those kids have gone on to play 4-year ball. And you look at guys like Victor Romero, Kent Bafakwa, both playing in the Big 12 right now, Oklahoma State.
And Ryan Lipkin caught here, I think 2007,
played
2008.
at USF.
And got drafted, I think by the A's.
1-0, just catches the inside part. Strike 1 to C.J. Owens. Owens struck out in his first at-bat.
And Zach, you were talking about the Solano baseball players and Coach Stover and that graduation rate, transfer rate, and you know, teaching here at Solano, teaching public speaking, I get a lot of kids in the classroom, and those baseball players, by and large, really good students.
Oh, and smokes this one to center. Tolbert going back, gets there in time. Excellent contact by Owens, but the speedy Tolbert gets there easily for the second out.
I've been pretty impressed with Tolbert thus far this season when he's been out in center field. Really does a good job getting a read on the ball and getting in position. Kind of like the center fielder for the Falcons the last 2 years, A.J. Borja. Kid out of Vintage, roamed center field for 2 years. I think he had 1 error.
In a sophomore year. So I remember clowning him about it.
He said that was his first error since he was a freshman at Vintage.
So Wyatt Castro led off the top of the 4th with a single. Since then, Pizzola has got a strikeout and a fly out. Matt Vera, the shortstop, takes the first pitch low and outside, ball 1, and getting back to the guys that have moved on. Victor Romero, now the starting catcher for Oklahoma State. They beat New Mexico in their season opener. Oklahoma State 1-0, and the head coach for Oklahoma State, Matt Holliday's brother.
Really?
Josh Holliday. And Matt Holliday came in to work with the Oklahoma State batter, so Victor Romero got to spend some time with Holliday. This one smoked to left, but tail and foul. How cool is that? You get to have batting practice with Matt Holliday. One of the better, I know you don't like him because he came to Oakland and didn't do much.
He just tanked it when he came to the A's.
He's been one of the better players since coming up with the Colorado Rockies, then had some time in Oakland, not the best couple of months in Oakland, but he's been killing it down in St. Louis and able to spend some time with Victor Romero.
Yeah, he just came to the A's, takes a little money that they do.
Luis Carlos
spend.
Gonzalez,
Yeah.
Houston Street. 1-1, took a little off. Vera out in front, and Josh Holliday is one of the best coaches around. He was an assistant coach and helped Georgia Tech get to the College World Series in 2006, moved on to Arizona State, got them to the College World Series in 2009, and then Vanderbilt last year in 2011, actually 2 years ago. He's been one of the better assistant coaches, now getting his time to shine as the head man at Oklahoma State, pitching the dirt. Count now 2-2.
Good job by Basher. That's when he was running the football at Vallejo. Good job by Brasher blocking the play.
You know what my favorite thing about Victor Romero is? He said his favorite baseball memory is the grand slam he hit against Kenyatta. That's my favorite baseball moment,
huge.
Calling a play. So we got a little bit in common there with Victor Romero. Last year, in his first year there, batted .224 with 1 homer. The 2-2 from Pizzola, a little low to Matt Vera. So the count's now full. Wyatt Castro will be on the move.
And that grand slam really turned that game around. After Falcons won the first game, they were behind in that second game, don't want to go to 3, and then Romero comes up, hits that big grand slam, and Falcons didn't look back from there.
Also, Kenton Bavacqua there with Victor Romero at Oklahoma State, had an ERA under 2 last year. This one tagged to center, right at Tolbert, goes 2 feet towards right field. So leadoff single wasted by Wyatt Castro. Pizzola gets the next 3 in order through 3.5, all knotted up 1-1. Heart of the order due up here in the bottom of the 4th. Nick Spini, the cleanup hitter, leading off. Tucker Bishop and Alex Crosby due up 2nd and 3rd here in the bottom half of the 4th. Cody Lane's been impressive so far through 3 innings. Nasty curveball, fooled Spini, takes that one for strike 1.
Yeah, he has a nice breaking ball.
In his first start of the season, went 6 strong, got the win, only allowed 1 earned run. Fooled Spini again, count now 0-2. Of course, Bobby Campa over at first base, the first base coach, and Tommy Pavesi's like a little kid over at third base. He loves being the third base coach. 0-2, Spini swinging a miss. Fastball outside, Spini couldn't take, so 3 pitches, 1 strikeout here in the bottom of the 4th, and that is the 2nd strikeout for Cody Lane here, 3 in the 3rd inning so far.
Really good pitching by Cody Lane. Looked like he started Spini off with a couple breaking balls and then gets him with the fastball. Spini just waves weakly at it and goes down swinging.
Tucker Bishop now in the box, takes the first pitch for ball 1, and Tucker Bishop off to a phenomenal start. Batting .360 this year with 6 RBIs, and just doing what he did in high school. 1-0, catches the plate for strike 1, and senior season at Benicia High. Finished the year batting .382, 23 runs batted in, had an OPS at 1.012. In 2011, he had a .390 average. Tried to check his swing. C.J. Owen fields it. Easy toss to Cody Lane. So 3-1 ground out for Bishop. Tried to check his swing, just got a piece. So once again, Cody Lane, 2 up, 2 down quickly here in the 4th. Had a 1-2-3 inning in the 3rd inning. He's now retired 6 Falcons in a row.
You got a really good game again. We have really been fortunate here with the beginning of doing our video broadcasts of Solano College baseball. We have had some excellent games, and another dandy for you here this afternoon. 1-1 in the 4th.
Crosby takes high outside ball 1. If you look at Solano's schedule, 4 of their 6 games have been 1-run games. And then the opener against DVC was a 2-run game, but it took 20 innings. The only game that was out of hand was against San Mateo. As Crosby rips this one. Left center. Crosby thinking 2. He's going for it with 2 outs. Throw is in time. Tag applied. And that is how the inning ends. Excellent job by Josh Bailey, the left fielder, getting there in time and shows off that cannon. Missiles one into second. Crosby gets a single, but gunned down at second base. So through 4, still 1-1. Rudy Perez leading off here in the top of the 5th. He led off the 3rd and drew a 5-pitch walk against Anthony Pizzola. It is the only walk issued by Pizzola, so Stover's got to be happy about that. I can tell you someone that's not happy right now, though, is Alex Crosby. Poor guy. Is this one chopped past Bishop? Going to be a leadoff single. So the second time Perez has been on base to start off an inning. But getting back to Crosby, poor guy usually is the first baseman for Solano. So if you make a play like that for the final out of the inning, you can just hide from Stover, come back, grab your glove. Not today. Crosby is a designated hitter. There is no hiding from Scott Stover here today. And you mentioned earlier you were watching Solano's dugout when Crosby is going back, and Stover was hunting him down, right?
He just walked over and said something when he came in, and it could have been, hey, 2 outs, not necessarily the worst play, but.
Brasher fakes the throw to first. Not a big lead at all for Perez.
But in this game, this is a tight ball game, 1-1. Boy, you don't want to give the opponents easy opportunities to make outs.
And also, too, if Crosby just stays on first, at least it gets closer to bringing back the top of the order up for Solano. They'll have 7, 8, 9 hitters due up in the bottom of the 5th. Bailey, the number 9 hitter, shows bunt. Bunts through it. Count now 1-1.
At the same time, though, Crosby with 2 outs,
I like
trying
the move. I like
to get
the move.
into scoring position. You could just tell when he rounded first, it wasn't. It didn't
close.
look too good.
Well, you got to give. He made Josh Bailey make the play, and he did.
Yeah.
Got there in time.
Took
nice
a good throw.
Stevie Robinson with the tag. It was just a good defensive play all around for Delta. The 1-1 just outside. Excellent job by Josh Bailey to lay off. Count now 2-1. And these are just 2 well-coached teams.
Very
Delta
fundamentally sound.
and Solano. Reed Peters has done a phenomenal job with San Joaquin Delta. He's got them to 2 Final Fours. They won 1 in 2011. Got to a Game 7, state runner-up. This one hit to left. Ibarra coming in, makes a nice basket catch. Perez scampers back to first, so been impressed with Ibarra out in left. He's got some speedy wheels. You got to love this alpha that Stover has with Tolbert in center. He's made some nice plays. Ibarra in left, and of course we know how good Zach Wells is in right. Arguably one of the best arms in all of Northern California.
Yeah, a few of the freshmen have come in and played pretty well in the outfield. Gio Torres will get out there as well. Doesn't quite have the speed as Tolbert.
Yeah, Gio Torres is very reminiscent to his older brother, Christian Torres. He played 1 here at Solano. Bunt. Steve, going to be a tough play. Bishop comes in, bobbles it a bit. Wisely just holds on to it, doesn't try and force a play. Nice heady move by a freshman.
And I like that play by Tucker Bishop. Very first game against DVC, very similar play. He tries to make the throw, make the play, throws it away, ends up costing Solano 2 runs in that game. Learn from that time, put the ball in his back pocket.
E5 or bunt single? Again, bunt single.
Bunt single. Yeah, absolutely.
And right there, I mean, I understand Pizzola's trying to make the play, but get out of the way.
Yeah.
They interfered with Bishop trying to make the play. Bishop just wanted to get his hands on it. He didn't want Pizzola to airmail one into center field, or in this case, it would have been right field. So number 2 hitter, Stevie Robinson, came into today with a .647 batting average. So far, 0 for 2 with 2 ground outs. So if you're batting .647, you're 0 for 2, you're due, right?
And with 11 runs batted in. Very unique stance. Really, his knees very low to the dirt.
Stevie Robinson, I ain't gonna lie, we've got the perfect angle, and he wasn't even close.
He wasn't
to going around.
Yeah, I was surprised that the call went against Robinson, and I think.
And we're Solano broadcasters.
Yeah,
I mean, it was pretty obvious from our standpoint. But that's the trouble you have when you only have 2 umpires. You don't have that umpire at first base with runners on base, and there's no way Gary DeFabio at second can get an angle at that.
Yeah, that's true. You just have to make the best call you can, and unfortunately, that call goes against Delta.
Pizzola's happy.
Yeah, count at 1-1 instead of 2-0.
Don't want to fall behind 2-0 to Stevie Robinson.
Big point in the game right here.
1-1. Hit to second. Quillayton goes to second and gets the runner at second base.
Another close play.
Gutsy play by Quillayton going to second to get the runner out there. So now runners on the corners with 2 down, and Quillayton kind of took his time a little bit there and made that a little closer than it should have been to get the speedy Tyler Steeb out at second.
You know, he just looked very calm and composed, right? Wanted to make sure he handled it properly, set his feet, makes the throw. But boy, that was close at second. So 2 close calls. The strike that went against Robinson, and then the play down at second. Big out for the Falcons. Also, good job by Quillayton making sure that that runner doesn't round the corner at third, and I think that also was something he was thinking about as he threw over to second.
And also Fernandez, too, caught the ball from Quillayton after he touched the bag, quickly looked over to third to make sure Rudy Perez wasn't going anywhere. So runners on the corners, 2 down here, top of the 5th. And the number 3 hitter, Jordan Devin Chenzi.
Chenzi, baby.
Lost my Italian card, trying to get it back. He's 1 for 2 this afternoon. Singled in his first at-bat. Flew out to Zach Wells to end the 3rd. First pitch low. Brasher keeps it in front. Count 1-0.
Yeah, Stevie Robinson kind of faked like he was going to go down to second. And, boy, we apologize for those of you watching our broadcast here on the YouTube channel. We only have the one camera, so hard for you to see what's going on over at first and
Jeremy
second.
Johnson on the camera is killing it right now.
Yeah, good
Very
job.
tough job to be the cameraman when you have multiple cameras doing baseball. But just imagine how hard it is with just one camera. So much to do with only one lens.
Well, I'm putting a proposal in on Thursday. Get us a couple cameras and the TriCaster 40. Get multiple cameras out here. And
TriCaster, man, you can have fun with that.
yeah.
Then you can actually get some graphics in. We could throw Pizzola's numbers on there. Devin Chenzi, 294 average, 1 for 2. Smokes this one right up the box for a 2-out RBI single as Tolbert gets it back. Excellent job of Devin Chenzi, 2-out hitting. Smokes this one right up the middle. 2-1 lead now for Delta.
And
Now he has his 5th RBI.
yes, he does. I was just going to say the same thing. Give him 5 ribbies on the season now. As Delta takes the lead 2-1. Brasher out talking to Pizzola. Falcons need one more out to get out of this jam here as Delta takes the lead.
Rudy Perez came in to score. Castro lays off. Count 1-0. And if Delta can tack on another big 2-out hit here, that'd be huge for the Mustangs. Pizzola, on the other hand, trying to get out of this inning with only 1 run allowed.
Yeah, and Cody Lane has been dealing the last 2 innings. He's actually retired 7 batters in a row.
This one, chopper to first, just foul. So the count 1-1. Stevie Robinson has to go back to second. Jordan Devin Chenzi now back at first. And a single out of the infield would most likely score Stevie Robinson. A very quick guy. Sophomore out of Lincoln High School has been off to a phenomenal start this year with a .647 batting average, 11 RBIs on the year. The 1-1 to Devin Chenzi. Robinson, a decent lead at second. Nasty curve right at the knee, strike 2.
Good pitch by Pizzola. Took a little bit off that one and gets it over for a strike. Now he's got the count in his favor at 1-2, 2 outs. And Pizzola, I believe, had only given up 2 hits coming into this inning.
Yes, sir. And he's given up 3 hits here in the top of the 5th. It's allowed 5 hits total. The 1-2 to Castro. Comes with the fastball outside and high. So the count now 2-2. As my boy Vince Scully always says, deuce is wild. 2 runners on, 2 out. Count 2-2. Can't wait to hear it's time for Dodger baseball.
Vin Scully, another year in the broadcast booth for the Dodgers. Been doing it since 1953.
He's been doing it since you were born, basically, right?
Year before I was born.
That's crazy, because you're pretty old.
I am.
This
Vin
one.
Scully's older.
What is he, 84? 85? He's mid-80s.
Yeah, I think he's 82, maybe 83.
Remarkable.
Yeah, still sounds great, and really, he has not dropped anything at all as far as his talent.
That's remarkable what the old Ginger's doing. 2 down, 2-2 from Pizzola. This one hit to left center. It's going to be a tough play for Tolbert. On the move, able to get there just in time. The speedy Tolbert bails out his man, Anthony Pizzola. Delta does get 1 run on the board. Jordan Devin Chenzi, a 2-out RBI single. Delta up 2-1 through 4.5. Bottom of the order, due up for Solano here in the bottom of the 5th. Justin Quillayton, RBI single in the 2nd, the only run that Solano has scored. David Fernandez due up next, and then Aaron Brasher in the 9-hole. Count 1-0. Lane, 4 innings so far. Nasty 1-0 inside corner, strike 1. Lane has gone 4 innings, allowed 4 hits, and the only run that came in to score was unearned. Has 2 strikeouts and no walks through 4+. And Lane's been in control since the 3rd. He's retired the last 7 Falcons in order. The 1-1 just misses inside, maybe a little high, count 2-1.
Yeah, he's done a good job of just kind of mixing up the speed on his pitches, working both sides of the plate, and really trying to keep these Falcon batters off balance.
Quillayton, the sophomore from Hogan High. High chopper down the first base side and foul. Gotta love the hustle from Dom DeSouza.
He was getting after it, chasing that foul ball.
One of the pitchers on Delta's squad, the sophomore from Stagg High School, the righty.
Stagg High School, only guys go there?
2-2 high, count full to Quillayton. Quillayton's off to a good start this year, batting .308, 1 homer, 5 RBIs for Quillayton. Tucker Bishop scored the only run for Solano. Quillayton gets a piece. Vera going towards third, fields it, short throw. C.J. Owens can't pick it up out of the dirt. That's going to be an E6 on Matt Vera.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with Vera's throw. He was there in plenty of time, fielded it cleanly, and just didn't have much on the throw.
He had to rush it a little bit. I mean, Quillayton's got some good speed, a weakly hit ball to short. He's going towards third base, a very tough play to make for Vera. We'll go down as an E6, but... And that's a play C.J. Owens, we've seen him make here early on. Not the toughest pick to make. But at the end of the day, it's going to be an error on Matt Vera.
I wonder what Fernandez is going to do.
Right? He's not even showing it at all, is he? Fernandez was showing bunt in the on-deck circle. And this one catches the outside corner, strike one. I think these guys like to fake bunt just to get 2 strikes and Stover will take it off. These guys want to hit. Come on, Stover, let these guys rake.
Yeah, watch him miss this one, hit into a double play.
I know. So time called by Fernandez, steps out of the box, gets refocused. Sorry, sir.
I was just going to say we're in the 5th inning, about an hour and a half into this game.
Been a quick game. Throw to first, Quillayton back standing up.
Breeze picking up, though, blowing out towards left field now. Just a beautiful February afternoon here at Solano Community College. Not
What,
yet.
March?
Picking up a little.
Maybe middle March, that's when it starts to get pretty crazy, pretty hectic. 0-1, Fernandez ducks, a little high, count 1-1.
Boy, Fernandez, when he holds up on the bunt, actually takes a big step towards the mound.
And Quillayton, the first Falcon to reach. And it was because of an error on Matt Vera. Lane had retired 7 in a row and really should have been 8.
Yeah, Fernandez had the last hit.
Fernandez whiffs at this one. Nice curveball. And as a hitter, if the curveball's not starting high, you got to lay off. You know it's going to break low. Curveball is an easy pitch to bunt if it's up high. So Stover
not happy.
Most likely elect to take the bunt off.
Yeah, leadoff runner on, want to get the runner over.
Quick throw to first. Quillayton back standing up. David Fernandez on the year, batting .316. Does have an on-base percentage at .458. He's been off to a good start here in his first season at Solano. Fernandez, the freshman out of Army High. 1-2, fouled straight back.
And Fernandez has had a pretty hot bat to open the season. And he's had a few big hits for the Falcons. He'd like to get one here, especially after failing to get the bunt down and move JQ over to second here in the bottom of the 5th. Falcons trailing by a run.
Quillayton takes off. This one hit past the diving shortstop, Matt Vera. So now runners on first and second for the number 9 hitter, Aaron Brasher. You want to take a wild guess on what he's going to be doing here?
Same thing that Fernandez tried to do and couldn't. And I tell you, if you're not going to get the bunt down, then the next best thing, even better yet, is to get a base hit, move the runner over, and no out still.
I tried telling you Fernandez did that on purpose. 2 horrible bunt attempts. And the guy got a bunt single in his first at-bat. Fernandez now 2 for 2, both singles. Quillayton also been on base both times. Had a single in the second, then just reached on the air to start off this inning. The air on Matt Vera. Got a meeting on the mound. That'll give me time. Let's talk about some Solano steelheads. This is back where Stover really got started here in Solano. Of course, the Solano steelheads used to be the Sacramento steelheads in 1999. And then in 2000, they moved to Vacaville. And they played at the Travis Credit Union Park on the grounds of the historic Nut Tree Park.
That's right. And you know who announced their games?
Who was that?
Remember Bob Green? Started out here at
nice.
Solano College Sports Network, and was doing their games for a little bit.
And they were part of the Western Baseball League. It lasted 8 years, 95 to 2002. But Pete Rose was the hitting instructor in 1999 for the Sacramento Steelheads. Guess who was the hitting instructor the next season?
Stover, I believe, right?
Man, how would you like to take over after that? What can you teach the
You're
guys
following
after?
the guy who has more hits than anybody else in
But,
Major League Baseball.
of course, Pete Rose, I don't know how much influence he had. He just kind of, they wanted to get that name, out there. I think really there's probably another hitting instructor too. But
I think it was a safe bet.
That's the only way you can get back in baseball, right? So Stover was there for 2 years. Brashard lays off the first pitch. But how cool is that? You got to take over after Pete Rose. You know what? He probably was betting on the Steelheads. It didn't work out too well, right? I wonder if Jim Gray went out there and interviewed him. 1-0. Brasher pulls it back, catches the outside part for strike one.
Boy, that looked pretty low and outside. Brasher even a little surprised, kind of gave a glance back,
You know what,
back
though?
at the home plate umpire.
Cecil Belkin has been consistent. He's been stretching the outside part of the plate both ways so far here early on. And that's a perfect location. You want to get bunt down the first base line, get those runners to second and third. The 1-1. Brasher gets this one, makes the third baseman field it. Perfectly placed bunt.
Bam!
This one gets away. Excellent job by the second baseman, Stevie Robinson, backing up C.J. Owens. That doesn't allow Clayton to come in and score, but the bases are now loaded and back to the top of the order with Jordan Tolbert.
So another error by Delta, and that really puts the Falcons in a great position here. Bases loaded, nobody out here in the bottom of the fifth, just after Delta took the lead in the top half. And one thing the Falcons have done well this year, and traditionally they've done this well over their history, they respond when a team scores in the previous inning. Trying to do that here.
So the error really started things off bad for Cody Lane. First pitch misses, ball one. Fernandez reached with a two-strike single, and then Brasher got the bunt down, and then another error in the inning. So Torres and Vera both with an error here in the bottom of the fifth. Bases loaded, nobody out, top of the order. Tolbert ahead in the count, 1-0. Tolbert batting .222 this season. Lays off the 1-0 just outside, maybe a little low. So the count 2-0. So now I take back for the consistency of the home plate umpire. That was the exact same pitch Brasher took for a strike. But, you know, that's a pretty tough job, too. I know you couldn't do it with that eyesight, right?
Oh, my goodness.
2-0, same pitch, same result, just barely misses. And that was the pitch pitchers were getting here early on in the game.
And I think that's what Cody Lane is saying. He kind of mutters something, shaking his head.
I would have done the exact same thing.
He's going, I was getting that pitch earlier in the game. Now I'm in a jam. I could really use that call.
The 3-0 Tolbert, right down the middle, strike one.
So big opportunity for the freshman out of Vacaville, Jordan Tolbert. Been outstanding defensively for the Falcons. Now a chance to do something with his bat.
Bases loaded, nobody out. 2 errors in the inning, 1 single. Clayton at third. 3-1 right at the belt. Count now full.
An infield in, too, for Delta, so it looks like a ground ball. They're coming home.
And, of course, if it's hit up the box to either short or second, they're going to try and turn 2. But if it's hit to third or first, you could expect them to come home. The 3-2. Fastball just misses, so that's going to be an RBI walk for Jordan Tolbert. And I'd be upset right now if I was Cody Lane. He had some very nice pitches that have been called strikes throughout the entire game so far. But Tolbert, nice at bat, able to lay off the 3-2. That one was clearly a ball just outside. So count, score now 2-2.
Well, he's dealing with the inconsistency with the strike zone. His guys behind him have given up 2 errors. You're absolutely right, Zach. This is a frustrating position for Cody Lane to be in, but let's see what he does.
Ibarra takes the first pitch, inside corner, strike one.
Throws a strike at the knees.
Ibarra 1 for 2 on the afternoon. Had an infield single in the first. Popped up to Matt Vera at short in the third inning. Fernandez at third. Brasher at second. Jordan Tolbert just got the RBI walk at first. 2-2, bottom of the fifth. Nobody out. Counts 0-1 to Edgar Ibarra, the freshman out of Rodriguez. Hits this one to Vera at short. Flips to second for one. No chance for Stevie Robinson to turn the double play. So the count now, or the score now 3-2 as the Falcons take the lead. Fernandez coming in to score.
Yeah, that was just hit a little too slowly to be able to make the turn at second, and Robinson to get the throw to first to get the double play. But they do get an out, but game all tied, or actually Falcons up now.
3-2 the score here, bottom of the fifth. And both runs unearned. Brasher now at third. And Ibarra at first.
And just one out, so still some work to do for Cody Lane to get out of this inning. Down by a run now.
And the Falcons' best contact hitter, Zach Wells, now up in the box. 385 average on the air. Still looking for his first base hit here today, 0 for 2. In yesterday's game, Zach Wells was 1 for 4. No RBIs, but did come home to score one of the 3 runs for Solano. Gets the push bunt down. C.J. Owens muffs it. Brasher comes in to score. Ibarra safe at second. Everybody's safe as Wells now at first. So the Gloves have hurt Delta here in the bottom of the fifth after they took the lead in the top half. Now Solano's put 3 on the board with only 1 down and 2 runners on base with the heart of the order coming up.
Boy, everybody in the infield trying to get an air. Stevie Robinson, the only infielder without an air here in the 5th inning, and Falcons taking advantage, now up by 2. And so Zach Wells now standing at first. You got Ibarra at second.
And this is typical Falcons baseball. They've scored 3 runs, and the ball has not got out of the infield. Nick Spini hopes to change that. He's got some pop in the bat. 3 RBIs on the season, 0 for 2 here today. Smokes this one right between first and second. Ibarra's going to come around to score easily as the right fielder, Rudy Perez, muffs the ball momentarily. Zach Wells heads up, base running, scampers all the way to third. So runners now on the corners. RBI single for Nick Spini.
Yeah, Rudy Perez coming in, and as he tried to field the ball, come up throwing, went right under his mitt. So that's going to be an error on the right fielder. Spini, though, stays at first, and Falcons have another run home.
So the Falcons have now scored 4 runs here in the bottom of the 5th, up 5-2. Tucker Bishop, 0 for 2 here this afternoon. Wells 90 feet away at third. Nick Spini over at first. Only 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. And really, Delta's should have had 4 outs so far in the inning. 3 errors. Spini with the first ball hit out of the infield. Tucker Bishop reached in the second on an E5 on Connor Torres, the third baseman. Bishop takes the first pitch low, ball 1.
And still just 1 out, Zach.
So obviously the guys up the middle, Matt Vera, the shortstop, Stevie Robinson, double play depth, hoping for a sharply hit ground ball to get out of the inning. You got to feel for Cody Lane. He's pitched pretty well here in the inning. It's just been defensive woes here with 3 errors. Bishop takes the 1-0, strike 1 right at the knees, outside corner.
Yeah, his defense had just dropped the ball behind him, 3 errors on the infielders, and I think actually that'll be another error on the right fielder, Perez.
Allowed Wells to get to third.
Exactly, which could lead to another run.
So 4 errors in the inning.
Makes it a little tougher to pitch when your defense isn't behind you.
Quick throw to first. Spini slides in safely. So 5-2, bottom of the 5th. Delta put a run on the board in the top half of the inning. Falcons have come back with 4 runs here in the bottom half. A 1-1 from Lane. Bishop. Shoes almost came off with that swing, fouled it towards the Falcons dugout.
Well, Lane took a little bit off that one, and Bishop, he's trying to knock it over the 330 sign out in left field, and he was just way out in front. Actually,
he was trying to hit it through the field goal post all the way across the field at the football stadium.
He actually did a good job controlling his wrist to actually get the metal on the bat and foul that one away.
And Bishop now with 2 strikes. Expect him to shorten his swing a little bit. Runners on the corners. Spini takes off. Strong throw to first. They're trying to run the same play they did earlier. Wells takes off. Owens, nice throw to home. Tag applied. And so far that play has not worked for Solano. They've tried it twice, and both times no runs to show for.
And more importantly, Delta gets a huge out, second out in the inning, and they erase the runner from third base.
Stover relayed that to Pavesi, obviously, right?
Yeah.
I don't think Pavesi would even do that. I mean, without obviously Stover's authority.
Yeah, he's played for Stover.
He knows. And of course, he's the all-time home run king for Solano.
And Spini, I thought, did a pretty good job trying to stay in that rundown as long as possible, but just good fundamental play by the Delta Mustangs.
Nice play by C.J. Owens. Knew exactly what to do. Nasty 1-2 curve. See you later,
Bam.
Tucker Bishop. Falcons do put 4 on the board, due in large part to 4 defensive errors for Delta. So the Falcons up 5-2, heading into the top of the 6th.
Well, we're all set to get things started here. Top of the 6th inning. Falcons, big bottom of the 5th, put 4 on the board and take the lead over the Delta Mustangs 5-2. Leading things off for the Mustangs, third baseman Connor Torres. 2 strikeouts thus far in the game against Pizzola. This first pitch is hit into right field. Wells going back under it and makes the play. That'll be the first out here in the top of the 6th. And now strolling up to the plate, number 27, C.J. Owens. Owens struck out in the 2nd and hit a towering fly ball to Jordan Tolbert in center back in the 4th. So C.J. Owens, who came into today's game hitting just 154, is 0 for 2 thus far in this afternoon's contest. Pizzola set, and here's the pitch. A little bit inside for a ball. Count 1-0. Pizzola now once again pitching with the lead. And the next pitch, and it's hit right through the hole into left field. Base hit for C.J. Owens. That's going to help his batting average, and Matt Vera, the shortstop, now comes up to the plate. Pizzola had a brief lead after the 2nd inning. He was up 1-0, but Delta got that back in the top of the 3rd. And then the Falcons were down 2-1 until that big inning in the bottom of the 5th. Delta, though, trying to answer back. They have some work to do. Matt Vera hitting .294, steps in against Pizzola. Big lead by Owens at first. That first pitch, inside corner for a strike. So Connor Torres led off the inning with the fly ball to Wells in right, followed by a base hit by C.J. Owens, and now Matt Vera. Throw over, not in time. C.J. Owens gets under the tag. Owens, of course, playing first base for Delta. Contributed to Solano getting 4 runs in that last inning with an error. Made a nice play, though, to the plate to get out Wells. And this is a bunt. It's hit. Pizzola grabs it, drops it. Can't get it. Bishop, no throw. So Pizzola probably just get out of the way, let your third baseman come in, field it cleanly. And we saw that earlier on a bunt where Pizzola kind of got in the way of Bishop and he couldn't make the play. This time Pizzola tries to pick it up but can't handle it cleanly. And after getting the first batter out, Delta in business with runners on first and second. And now up to the plate, Rudy Perez. And boy, he's been the hot hitter for Delta. Had that base hit in the bottom of the 9th to get them the win yesterday and had a big hit in the 5th inning and eventually scored the 2nd run for the Mustangs. So Pizzola set, pitch at the knees but low for a ball. So Connor Torres flied to right. C.J. Owens then had a base hit. And Matt Vera on first.
You give air on Pizzola there? Or?
Yeah, I go E1.
1-0 inside.
You read my
Count now
mind.
2-0.
And I was trying to think of that. Well, do we give him a hit or we give him an error? I'm just not going to say anything. But, yeah, I think probably an error. I think if he fields that cleanly, he's able to get the throw over, get the second out in the inning.
It could be a better thing he didn't try and make the throw again. Second error on Pizzola so far here today. Rudy Perez hits this one straight back and just out of play for Brasher. Perez 1 for 1 so far, and he was the hero in yesterday's game. Walk-off hit in the bottom of the ninth.
Yeah, and he's been aboard both times, and he scored the 2 runs. Walked in the third, eventually came home to score the first run, and scored the second run, as I just mentioned before, top of the 5th.
Josh Bailey, the number 9 hitter on deck. Perez takes a bunt back, catches the outside corner for strike 1. So the count's 2-1, 1 down. C.J. Owens at second. Matt Vera over at first. Torres started the inning off, flew out to center field. Or actually right field, my mistake. 2-1, smoked right at Fernandez.
Bam.
Catches it, steps on second, so that's going to be an unassisted double play for David Fernandez, and Delta strands 2 runners on here in the top of the 6th, going to the bottom half of the inning. Falcons up by a field goal, 5-2. Nick Camarena. You know, I had to practice that name, so I had to throw a little emphasis into that.
Sounded good.
Camarena, the freshman out of Tokay High, big lefty, 6'4", $195. Has not allowed 1 earned run so far in the season.
So Alex Crosby steps in. Ripped a hit last time, but got thrown out trying to stretch it to 2.
And the big lefty, Camarena, second appearance on the season. Little outside to Crosby for ball 1. Camarena had a shutdown inning in his only appearance. 2 strikeouts. Only faced 3 batters, so a 1-2-3 for Camarena. 1-0 to Crosby. Hit to the shortstop. Vera, strong throw to first. 6-3 ground out. First batter face for Camarena, easy ground out. So he's faced 4 batters in his early career here at Delta and has retired all 4.
Tall, lanky kid, too, at 6'4", 195-pounder. And, boy, you look at the roster for Delta this year, they got a lot of freshmen. Few key sophomores, but a lot of freshmen on this team.
Justin Quillayton, 1 for 2. RBI single in the second. Reached on a error by the shortstop, Matt Vera, in the previous inning. Came around to score. Solano put 4 on the board in the 5th. Due in large part to 4 defensive errors by Delta. Quillayton smokes this one to left, and it's going to trickle right in front of Josh Bailey for a 1-out single for JQ.
Good job by Quillayton, just going with the pitch. And just lifts it over the shortstop, Vera, into left field. And after Crosby grounded out to the shortstop, Falcons have a runner on board, and now Fernandez coming up. We'll see if Stover goes for the sac bunt again with Fernandez. Couldn't execute it last time up, but didn't work out too bad for the Falcons. After failing to get the bunt down to move JQ to second, laces a single, and that got the inning going for the Falcons. Eventually scored 4 runs.
This one smoked center, and this one gets by the center fielder, Tyler Steve. Quillayton's going to have to stop at third. Fernandez stops at second, so the Falcons now with 2 runners in scoring position after Tyler Steve just kind of didn't make the jump right after contact, and then tried to make a play, and it just went right under his glove. So
it looked like he was a little indecisive. He was running in and kind of thinking, do I play this thing on a hop or do I go for the catch? He ended up going for the catch and gets by him. That was a pretty tough chance. That ball was sinking quick. I'm not sure if that's going to be a base hit and then an error.
That's what I've got it as.
Yeah, I think I would go with that. Base hit Fernandez, and on the air, ball gets past him, and Fernandez now at second. JQ at third. Falcons may not be done. They'd like to add to this 5-2 lead over a very good Delta team.
Brasher, 0 for 1. First pitch, right down the middle, strike one, and Brasher 1 for 20 on the season.
Perfect opportunity here to kind of break out of that slump. Falcons up 5-2, just one out. Got runners at second and third.
Crosby started off the inning, grounded out to short. Layton singled. Fernandez singled, and then advanced to second on the air. Brasher, nice cut. Foul tipped it right into the catcher's gloves. The count 0-2.
Yeah, good swing by Brasher, just not able to connect on that, but good rip at the plate.
Stover looking to improve his record against Delta. 3-9 in his 10+ seasons as the Solano head coach. 3-7 record in the regular season, including yesterday's loss. The 0-2. Inside corner, strike three. Perfect location for Nick Camarena. Big time strikeout with runners on second and third for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, that was a tough pitch. That was a fastball right at the knees, and not much chance for Brasher to do much with that pitch. So Brasher walks back to the dugout, kind of shaking his head, but things will turn. And we've seen a lot of guys do this for Solano. Start out slow. In fact,
Brasher did it last year.
Exactly. And the 2 years before that, who always had a slow start, then came on like gangbuster. You got it, baby. He would just struggle. He'd look horrible at the plate, and then conference play starts, and bam, he's hitting like 500. Had 2 triples in an inning.
Tolbert takes the first pitch high for ball 1. Tolbert 0 for 2. Had an RBI walk in the fifth in the last inning. And Cody Lane went 5 innings. Only allowed 6 hits. 5 runs, all unearned. He pitched very well today. Very impressed with Cody Lane. Just defense didn't help him out too much, and that's what non-conference games are for. You work all the kinks out, kind of got a young squad. Tolbert hits this one to left. It's carrying. Bailey over his head, and it's going to go all the way to the fence. Layton's going to score. Fernandez right behind him, so a 2-out, 2-run double for the leadoff man, Jordan Tolbert.
How do you like that from your leadoff hitter, especially Tolbert, who's 0 for 2 in the game, and then with 2 outs after Brasher goes down looking, just rakes the ball. I thought it might have a chance to bounce over the fence because it was going right where the scoreboard is, fence a little bit lower, caught the top of the fence, stays in.
And you know what's funny? It would have been the exact same results even if that one bounces over.
Exactly. And that was really set up by the throwing error after Fernandez's hit because he's at second. If that, well, I guess we're just getting hypotheticals, doesn't matter.
Tolbert came into today with 1 RBI on the season. In his last 2 ABs, he's got 3. Had an RBI walk in the fifth, and now a 2-out, 2-run double, scoring Layton and Fernandez.
I'll tell you what, if Tolbert can keep playing center like he's been playing defensively, and keep that on-base percentage up around 400 and get some key hits like he did.
And his on-base percentage already at 417.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Keep that around 400, even a little bit closer to 5. He's going to be a great leadoff hitter for the Falcons, and I know that was kind of a question mark for Stover coming into the season. Who's going to be the guy that's going to lead things off, and it could be Mr. Tolbert.
So we got another pitching change. Sean Bennett's coming in to take the place of Nick Camarena. Let's go through Solano and Delta's history. Last time they met was 2009, of course not including yesterday, in the 2009 Northern California Regional Playoffs in round number 1. Delta just dominated the series. Game 1, beat Solano 9-3.
That series was never close.
And then game 2, they won 8-5. Of course, that was here at Billy and Luis Yarborough Stadium. Solano was the 8 seed. Delta was the 9 seed. In game 1, Zach DeVell. 9 innings. Complete game, only 1 earned run allowed. And he was 10-0 after that contest. Kid was phenomenal. Ethan Gibbons, I felt sorry from that game. He pitched very well. 6 2/3, 9 runs. Only 2 of those 9 runs were earned. Defensive woes for Solano in game 1.
Who pitched the first game? Was it Chatfield?
He pitched game 2.
Oh, he pitched game 2.
Game 2, Chris Anklem got the W. Came in relief, 5 shutdown innings. Only allowed 5 hits, 1 earned run. Chad Chatfield started game 2. And it was another thing with defense for Solano. He allowed 3 earned runs in 1 2/3 worth of work. But he was pitching pretty well. Just the defense really cost Solano in that series. And you look at in game 1, the 1 through 5 hitters for Solano, Josh Sheridan, Greg Henry, Kyle Bible, Scott Cretel, and Chris Curtis, went 0 for 17 in game 1. In the second game, same thing. Scott Cretel and Kyle Bible had combined 0 for 14 in that series. The heart of the order went 0 for 14, and that was the reason why Delta took down. And they advanced all the way and were the state runner-up in 2009. So Sean Bennett comes out of the pen.
I remember Josh Sheridan in that first game had an error out in center field, really makes an error, and also really, I think, affected him at the plate during that series. But he was a tremendous ball player.
There was runners on first and second, and Sheridan made a play in right center.
Yep.
Bennett's nice pitch, just misses. So the count now 2-0 to Edgar Ibarra, who had an RBI in his last at-bat. Fielder's choice, RBI ground out for Ibarra. But Sheridan tried to get the lead runner at third. Instead of going to second, that allowed the runner to advance to second. And the next play would have been an inning double play ball. Stover was not happy. His count's now 3-0 to Ibarra. And Sean Bennett's the third pitcher used for Delta here today.
And Sheridan was a 2-year starter. He was actually played a lot of shortstop, some in the outfield as a freshman for the 2008 team that went to the Super Regionals. And boy, made that big mistake as a veteran. Really one of the leaders of the team, and that kind of turned things around in that series. I wonder where Josh Sheridan is today.
We'll have that answer for you next week, right?
That's right.
So the count's 3-0 to Ibarra. Tolbert at second. Gets back after the throw to the second baseman, Stevie Robinson. And Delta, of course, they used to be in the Bay Valley Conference back in 2005. That was the last season. They were in the BVC. That was back when it was the BVC East and the BVC West. Solano and Delta were both members of the BVC East. 3-0, inside corner for strike one. And looking back to the regular season matchup, when Delta was in the BVC, they had Solano's number. 2005, 2-1 against Solano. 2004, same, 2-1 against Solano. In 2003, perfect 3-0. Of course, that was when Stover was still rebuilding the program here at Solano, and he really got things on track, especially when the Bay Valley Conference just moved to an 8-team league. Nice 3-1 pitch, strike 2, count now full. I mean, look at it back in BVC, Solano, Delta, Sacramento, Yuba, Consumnes River, Sierra, American River. And then you look at the BVC West, Contra Costa, DVC, Blaney, Los Medanos, Marin, Mendocino, Santa Rosa, and Nappy. The BVC East, a powerhouse, kind of like the Big 8 is now. Tolbert takes off.
That hurt. I think that got Gio Torres.
And, of course, my mistake, Gio Torres pinch hitting for Edgar Ibarra here as he takes this one right on the arm.
I was telling you at the start of the game, I always get these kids mixed up, and I had Ibarra in the classroom after the game against Mission where Torres had the game-winning hit. I went up I saw Ibarra, I said, hey, nice hit. He goes, I'm Edgar. Remember me? I was in your class.
And, of course, I was making fun of you about that, and then I'd do it. The wonderful life of karma.
You know, Gio Torres, he was an excellent defensive back for Fairfield last year, Fairfield High School.
They won like 2 games last year?
Yeah, but boy, a pretty tough kid playing defensive back.
Zach Wells now up with runners on first and second. Of course, Tolbert had to go back to second after that pitch hit Gio Torres. The count 0-1 to Zach Wells. Zach Wells still looking for his first base hit of the afternoon. 0 for 2. Got down the sac bunt in the last inning and then reached on the air on the first base.
Oh, that hit.
Throw back to second. In the ribs. Gets Tolbert right in the rib cage.
So Torres, he's looking at his elbow over at first. That thing's still stinging as he's grabbing it. Now Tolbert is rubbing his ribs. He took that one right in the rib cage.
Sean Bennett, the freshman righty out of Hometown High School. Third appearance on the season. Has not allowed an earned run in 2+ innings. 4 strikeouts to 1 walk for Bennett. And 2 2/3 innings worth of work. Zach Wells looking to add some more 2-out insurance. Falcons up 7-2. Wells hits this one past the diving third baseman, Connor Torres. Tolbert almost trips round in third. And he's going to come in to score as the throw airmailed over the catcher's head. And now runners on second and third for Solano. And they've now scored 3 runs here in the bottom of the 6th. Now up 8-2.
And that play right there really illustrates the speed and the acceleration of Jordan Tolbert. Zach, as you pointed out, as he's rounding third, he kind of stumbled, but after he caught his balance, he turned on the afterburners and still able to get in. I think if the throw is there,
it's close play.
It's a close play, but I think he's still in. But boy, his ability to accelerate after the stumble, truly amazing. And that run now, Falcons up 8-2, 6-run lead here in the bottom of the 6th, and they may not be done.
Nick Speeney ripped a single in his last at-bat. His 4th RBI on the season. Speeney's got to love it, getting back in the cleanup spot, getting back out in first base. You know why he's at first base, right? Stover wanted him out of the dugout. He don't want to be in a DH.
He's hearing too many Harry Potter stories.
Yeah. Come on, man.
I like Nick Speeney.
Speeney takes the first pitch, strike one. You got to love the kid.
He could do one of those Dove commercials where you talk about being comfortable in your own skin. I mean, kid has a lot of confidence, and he's an outstanding student. He probably has the best GPA of anybody in the dugout for the Falcons.
Oh, well, I mean, if you're a Harry Potter fan, there's not much to worry about, right?
Very studious kid.
You don't see, you know, it's not like they have Harry Potter parties unless you go to Barnes & Noble for the midnight premiere. 0-1 low count now 1-1 to Nick Speeney. You got to give Speeney, you know, I got to hate a little bit. He's always bragging about the Giants. They've won 2 out of 3 World Series here in the past 3 seasons. Starting to build a dynasty up here in the Bay. We'll have to wait and see how they do this year first. So a count 1-1 to Nick Speeney. 1 for 3 on the afternoon. Trying to get his average over the Mendoza line at 200. Fist this one. Shallow left. Bailey coming in for the 3rd and final out, but the Falcons get 3 more on the board here in the bottom of the 6th, due in large part to Jordan Tolbert's 2-out, 2 RBI double, and Zach Wells tacks on another run with a 2-out RBI single. 8-2, heading into the top of the 7th. New pitcher for Solano here in the top of the 7th, a lefty, Adam Coates, the freshman out of Bethel High, 5'11", buck 65. How about that boy Anthony Pizzola? 6 innings, 1 earned run, 2 runs did score for Delta. Allowed 6 hits, but most importantly, 4 strikeouts, only 1 walk for Pizzola. He's had at least 3 walks in his 2 previous starts, so able to cut that down. This one fouled out of play down the first base side.
Like I said, the Pez dispenser dealing today.
Dayton Mellor pinch hitting. Josh Bailey's afternoon is done. 0-1 low and outside. Count now 1-1.
And if the Falcons can hang on to this 6-run lead, that'll give Pizzola his first victory on the season. And
Dayton Mellor, usually the everyday starter, takes the 1-1 low. 357 average this year. 5 for 14. 3 RBIs on the season, has 2 doubles. Slugging percentage at .500. He's only struck out once this year, and this one smoked into left. Drops right in front of Torres, I believe. I'm pretty sure Tolbert stayed out in center, and Torres is going to hang out in left.
Yeah, and Torres, he's just a little bit taller than Ibarra. That's the one way to kind of tell those two apart. And we still could be wrong.
Well, he came in to pinch hit for Ibarra, so Ibarra's afternoon's done.
To be. Yeah, that's Torres.
And the way Tolbert's been playing in center, no way you're going to move Torres to center. It's looking like Tolbert is off to a good start to win that center fielding starting position.
And the leadoff spot as well. That's huge.
This one gets away. Mellor able to advance to second. It's spelled M-E-L-L-O-R.
It's a weird spelling.
I don't know if he wants to go with Miller or Mellor.
I think it's Maylor.
Okay, now you're just throwing Y's and everything in there, okay? You can't just start adding a whole bunch of stuff, all right? Well, you know what? It's working for Devin Chenzi, so.
Like Mellor? Could be Melor.
The kid's a stud, though.
We'll call him Dayton, baby. He's standing on second.
A sophomore from Heritage High. Nice little push bunt down the first base line. It's going to be trouble for Clayton. Not in time. Heads up bunt by the leadoff hitter, Tyler Steep. That was, you know, he busted out his Raphael for call impersonation. Just laid down the perfect push bunt. And no way JQ, Justin Clayton, can make the play.
And it was a pretty good play by JQ. JQ barehanded it, made the toss, just not quite in time. That's going to be it for Coates. Fast trigger. And so that looks like
This is why I love community college baseball. A game is never over.
It isn't.
8-2 in the 7th. You're watching the majors. There's a good chance the game's probably about over. But community college baseball, a 6-run lead is nothing.
And we've seen that with Solano, too, several times. In fact, in that victory over Mission, Solano was up by a couple runs in that game. Gave up 4 runs, I think, in the top of the 7th, maybe the top of the 8th, but Falcons able to come back in the 8th and win that game 5-4.
So it's 8-2. Adam Coates faces 2 batters, doesn't record, 1 out. Now the big righty, Mike Duman, sophomore at Kelseyville High, 6'3", 190 pounds.
And Coates, to his credit, I mean, he's putting the ball over the plate, not walking anyone, just Delta able to get that base hit to open things up by Dayton Maylor, and then Steve was just going for the sacrifice, but
you know what, though,
able to beat it out.
I really think he was going for he saw an opening right there. He was going for the bunt single, especially with the lefty throwing, puts too much into the throw. He's tailing towards the third base bag after the throw. Went right by the pitcher.
He placed it perfectly.
He saw Clayton kind of back in the normal position at second. He knew exactly what he was doing. The kid is he has a very high baseball IQ. So Delta trying to get a little rally here, top of the 7th. 2 runners on the corners, nobody down. Mike Duman, the second pitcher of the inning, the third pitcher used for Stover. 3rd appearance on the season, has only pitched 1 inning, has not allowed an earned run. He's allowed 2 hits in 1 inning, of course. He's faced 5 batters.
And he's come in some big spots for the Falcons and pitched pretty well.
How would you like it, though, to come out of the pen? You got to face a kid that's got a .647 batting average, runners on the corner, nobody out. The sophomore Duman delivers outside corner, strike 1.
And the Falcons just need outs. They need 9 more outs.
So, of course, the runners on base, if they do come around to score, they'll be credited to Adam Coates.
And Duman here, he just wants a ground ball hit sharply to one of his infielders.
Robinson pulls it back. Heads up base running by Steve. Got far enough away from Brasher, and Steve now at second, so that eliminates a double play.
And there goes the wish for the ground ball hit hard at someone. Although still, ground ball hit hard to an infielder, possibly hold the runner.
I mean, you're up 6 runs.
I don't think you care.
You're going
you want
to first.
The out.
You're getting the out. You're getting the sure out. You're up 6 runs here in the 7th. Delta has 9 outs to play with. Stevie Robinson looking for his first hit, 0 for 3. Nice job to lay off the outside pitch, so the count now 2-1. Robinson has had 3 ground outs.
And he's got that weird stance. It reminds me of the way that Arnold Palmer used to putt. Kind of that weird knee bend.
This one hit right at the third base coach. Nice throw, right back to the pitcher. So the count now 2-2 to number 2, the second baseman, Stevie Robinson. 11 RBIs on the season. Perfect opportunities for number 12 and 13 right here.
Duman's been in 2 games before this one. Only a couple innings, though.
This one smoked, and this one goes off the glove of Fernandez. Meller comes in to score.
And that
Steve has to hold at third, and heads up base running by Tyler Steve. He was able to get out of the way of the ball. If that ball touches Steve, he's out. So good job, and not only did he get out of the way, but he did an excellent job of screening David Fernandez. So Delta, first 3 batters have reached this inning.
I mean, that was a tough chance for Fernandez. He's got to watch Steve, who's kind of in front of him, and then Steve, excellent, as you said, base run. He moves out of the way at the last minute, but kind of blocked Fernandez's view, and just a tough chance there.
Steve busting out his best Keanu Reeves impersonation, getting out of the way, dodging bullets. So 8-3, top of the 7th, nobody out, runners on the corners, and heart of the order coming up for the Mustangs. Jordan DeVincenzi, 2 for 3. Had an RBI single in his last at-bat. Hits this one up the box. Fernandez stops it. Can't find the ball. Steve's going to score. Everybody safe.
Boy, if Fernandez could have, I mean, that was a great play, just keeping the ball in the infield, but he got his glove on the ball. If he could have kept it in his glove, hop up, step on the bag, and a throw over.
Yeah, he could have had time if he would have had it, just to flip it over to JQ at second.
Yeah,
it wouldn't have been
out.
able to get the double play, of course, but would have got the runner out at second. So Delta
pecking away.
Falcons have scored 7 runs in the last 2 innings. Delta has put 2 on the board here. Score now 8-4. The cleanup hitter, Wyatt Castro, the designated hitter, takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. And the Falcons getting an arm loose out in the pen.
And boy, Delta hasn't done much as far as their base hits, but they're just getting everything they can out of every ball they put in play.
Duman, 1-0, low. So the count now 2-0. Runners on first and second. Nobody out here in the top of the 7th. Delta's already scored 2 runs. Started the inning off with a double by the pinch hitter, Dayton Miller. Steve, bunt single. Stevie Robinson, RBI single after Fernandez couldn't get it. Same thing with DeVincenzi. This one smoked down right field, right at Zach Wells for the putout. Stevie Robinson thought about tagging, wisely stays at second. So right there, I mean, Duman kind of got lucky. That one roped, but right at Zach Wells in right field for the first down here in the top of the 7th.
And two, Robinson just had to respect the throwing arm of Zach Wells. He's got a cannon out there, got it back in quickly. And if Robinson keeps going, I think JQ makes the catch, turns and throws, and they got an out at third base. Nice play by Wells.
When you don't want to make the second out at third base ever. So that brings up the number 5 hitter, Connor Torres, looking for his first hit on the afternoon, 0 for 3. Duman, fastball, inside corner, strike 1, and Torres, .250 batting average on the season. 3 runs batted in for the freshman third baseman.
He's had a tough game today, too. As you said, Zach.
I believe he has 2 errors.
Still looking for his first hit and a couple errors.
The 0-1, the 0-1, perfect pitch right at the knees. Count out 0-2, and Torres has already struck out 2 times.
He could erase all of that with a big hit right here.
Bazzola's chilling in the dugout. He's like, come on, guys. I want to get my first W on the season. 0-2. Perfect 0-2 pitch, outside and low, just off the outside part of the plate, trying to get Torres to help him out.
And I think it would be Bazzola's first community college win ever.
He didn't pitch at all last year. Pretty remarkable what he's done. Not pitching at all last year. 1-2. This one just foul tip, so Torres stays alive.
Just barely. Good job by Connor Torres, just getting a piece of that, staying alive.
Torres, the 5'11", 190-pound freshman out of Granada High.
You can hear the Delta dugout right below our press box. They are in this game now.
You got to get the little natural sounds in the broadcast. Just makes it sound a little better. This one fouled straight back, so the count stays at 1-2, and Stevie Robinson over at second base. Got his 12th RBI. Jordan DeVincenzi, who reached on the infield single at first. Wyatt Castro just smoked one, but right at Zach Wells and right for the first out of the inning. Counts 1-2 here in the top of the 7th. You're checking out Zach Poff here with Greg Poff, Solano College Sports Network. The 1-2. Nice take by Torres. Counts now even at 2-2.
And the Falcons this year have struggled holding leads. It's been one area that they'd really like to get corrected before the start of conference play.
Duman hoping for a sharply hit ground ball. 2-2. Hit deep to left. Torres makes an easy put out. So back-to-back flyouts for Mike Duman, 1 out away from getting out of the inning with only 2 runs scoring, and both those runs, of course, charged to Adam Coates.
So Duman, pretty good job coming in to pick up for Adam Coates, and just needs 1 more out to get out of the 7th inning. And if he can, oh, you're right. That's it for Duman, baby.
So third pitcher used for Solano here this inning as Drew Lamont, the freshman out of Berean Christian. Did I say that right?
You did. Berean Christian.
The 6'4" righty freshman, 195 pounds. Hoping to get one more out. Delta's already come across with 2 runs here in the top of the 7th. And they started the inning off with 4 straight hits, a double, a bunt single, and a single that got out of the infield, and then an infield single for Devin Chenzi. And the 4 and 5 hitters, Castro flew out to Wells for the first out, and Torres flew out to Torres, who pinch hit for Ibarra in the bottom of the 6th. Made the second out of the inning. Now Stover goes with his big righty Lamont to face C.J. Owens, who's 1 for 3 so far today. Sorry, partner.
No, I believe that Lamont last pitched on Tuesday in the game against the Mission Saints. Gave up 1 run. I think he had a couple strikeouts. He came in relief of Driscoll in the 8th inning. And that's where Mission was able to get 4 runs on the board, tie that game up. Falcons eventually won that game 5-4.
It was funny, too, when I looked at Drew Lamont's high school stats, he was listed as Jake Lamont, but on the roster it's Drew. So we're going with Drew.
And we've got David Novelli, another pitcher, but he goes by Jake.
Yeah, you know what? That's my mistake. It was Jake. There we go. My mistake. Sorry, Big Drew.
Drew also pitched in relief of Pizzola in that opening game at DVC.
I think everybody pitched in that game, right?
We got a chance to see just about everybody.
I believe Solano used 8 pitchers in that game. I could be mistaken, but they used a ton. So C.J. Owens up with 2 down. Runners on second and first. Robinson at second. Devin Chenzi at first. First pitch over for strike 1. And Drew Lamont on the season, making his 3rd appearance. ERA at 2.70. A 1-0 record on the season. 3+ innings. 2 strikeouts, 3 walks for the big righty. Luke Robinson back to second. Nobody covered.
Yeah, Lamont has given up 5 runs, but only 1 of those runs earned. That's right, he came in and pitched in the 8th inning against Mission, and 2 errors in a row by the Falcons.
0-1 outside, count now 1-1 to C.J. Owens. C.J. Owens, the freshman first baseman out of St. Mary's High. 1 for 3 on the afternoon. Came in batting 154 on the season with 3 runs batted in. He's got another RBI waiting at second. High chopper. Bishop going towards short. He's going to take a strong throw. Speedy stretch. Not in time. Excellent hustle by Owens. Getting down the line for a bang-bang play, and he beat it out. So the bases are now loaded. And Matt Vera, the shortstop, now the tying run coming up to the dish.
Well, that hit took such a high bounce off the turf. Tucker Bishop had to wait for it to come down. Checked over at second, no play there. Tried to make the long throw to first and just not quite in time.
So Matt Vera, 0 for 3 so far today. 294 average, 1 run batted in his 7 previous games before today. Matt Vera, slugging percentage, 294. This one was tagged, but this one goes foul out of play. He's hoping he sees that pitch one more time. I mean, that was just tagged down the left field line, but that one tailed just foul by about 15 feet.
He jumped on that, just got around a little too quickly and yanked that foul. But good rip.
I can guarantee Lamont's not coming with that pitch. Chopper fouled towards the Falcons' dugout, so Lamont is 1 strike away from getting out of the inning.
And this is a big point in this game. Falcons get this last out, still up by 4, but if somehow Vera can come through with a big hit, now this game really gets interesting. So big play.
Bases loaded, 2 outs, 0-2 pitch to Vera. This one just low, so the count now 1-2. Excellent take by Vera. Barrett looking for his first hit here today.
And good pitch by Lamont. That one not in the zone, low. Can't really get hurt by the pitch, and maybe with the count 0-2, Vera goes fishing.
The 1-2. Foul tip right into Brasher's glove, and that is how the inning ends. Delta leaves the bases loaded, but they do get 2 runs on the board in the top half of the 7th. 8-4 the score. Time to stretch, folks. Going to the bottom of the 7th. Bottom of the 7th. Falcons got the 5, 6, and 7 hitters due up here. Tucker Bishop stepping in the box, still searching for his first hit here this afternoon. 0 for 3. Alex Crosby on deck. Justin Quillayton due up third. This one hit. Diving stab. Connor Torres gets up, throws it across the diamond. We got a gold glove right over there at third base, making up for his earlier errors in the contest. We got to hit up Sports Center, maybe get a TPN out there. Excellent diving stab by Connor Torres. And a perfect throw across the diamond to C.J. Owens.
And just funny watching Tucker Bishop. He was running for everything he could, trying to get down first base.
See, that's the thing that sucks about being 4'8".
Yeah,
you got
take
those
a lot
little
more
strides.
But he was chugging, just couldn't quite get there.
What a play by Torres. First pitch misses to Crosby, and Sean Bennett's in his 2nd inning of work. Came in relief of Nick Camarena.
Camarena, baby.
In the bottom of the 6th. Got the final out in the inning.
I almost said Macarena.
Don't even do the dance.
I can't remember it. It's been so long ago.
Thank God. The Gangnam style's taken over now, so.
Gangnam style.
Now it's the new Harlem Shake. Crosby hits this one weakly, but it's going to drop right in between Vera and the center fielder, Tyler Steve. So Alex Crosby now 2 for 3 on the afternoon. Crosby's been doing exactly what he did last season. One of the better hitters, one of the better players in the Bay Valley Conference.
And Chad Fortney is going to come in and run for Alex Crosby. And Chad Fortney, he, like Danny Mills, one of those sophomores, utility players, but they're just good guys to have. They're fundamentally sound. They can play the infield. You can put them up in a tough situation, and they're going to get you something. And so nice to see Chad Fortney in, kid out of Vacaville. Real important part of this baseball team, I think.
And he had a stellar career at Vacaville. Senior year, batted .486, had a slugging percentage over .550, had an on-base percentage over .520, had 8 stolen bases in his senior year at Vacaville.
And you know what else? Great kid in the classroom.
Almost got picked off at first base. Nice pickoff move by Sean Bennett.
You know who that kid reminds me of? Chad Fortney. In fact, he even looks like him. Competed on the speech and debate team with you your first year. He was one of our top speakers. Went to Santa Cruz.
Oh, Paul?
Paul Starbuck. Even same mannerisms, same kind of really good speaker, Chad Fortney. It's funny, I see that kid, he reminds me of Paul Starbuck.
Paul could be kind of awkward sometimes, though. Chad Fortney seems like a down-to-earth dude.
Oh,
Paul, a cool dude, too, but. Nice little quick throw to first, but Chad Fortney knew it was coming this time around. So Crosby's day ends 2 for 3.
You just didn't like him because you and Michael always had to go up against him and Elvis when you were just starting debating. That was a good debate team.
All right, let's get back to baseball.
You and Michael, not too bad either.
We're all right. Got a silver, or no, got a bronze at Nationals, got a silver at State. Still upset about that.
State champion, persuasive speaking.
And you look at Delta, they were the state champions in 2011. And the odd years have been impressive for Delta in 09. Advanced all the way to the Final Four, lost in the finals, Game 7 to Orange Coast. 2011, they won it all. 1-0, fouled straight back. And, of course, here in 2013, off to another great start, 5-1 in their first 6 non-conference games. They've got Cabrillo in a back-to-back coming up next, February 19th, at home against Cabrillo. And then they travel to Cabrillo on February 21st. Actually, a 3-game series. And then they got back-to-back games at, is it Lawson? Lassen?
Lassen.
Lassen.
Mount Lassen College. Up not too far from Lake Almanor, up in Northern California, a kind of remote area.
That's where my grandparents are from and your parents are from, right? Or live there, right?
Lived there up at Lake Almanor. 15 years.
Of course.
Lassen College, I believe, is in Susanville.
Ray and Phyllis Poff, residents of Lake Havasu. They like to go party out, you know, on the lake, chug some beers with those 20-year-olds during spring break.
Yeah, they get after it, don't they?
Big Diamondback fans. Of course, Mark Anthony Smith, who runs the PA and the scoreboard. He's a big Diamondbacks fan also. And, of course, now getting back to Reed Peters' twin brother, Rex Peters, able at the same place where Trevor Bauer, the former first-round pick for the Diamondbacks, was traded in the offseason this year, the Indians, as Colayton fouls this one straight back, count now 2-2. Still got a little full circle going around there.
Well, I started talking about speech and debate.
I know, I had to get it off.
Let's get out of Nerdville. I guess we can only talk about that when Speeney's up. Hey, I tell you, that kid, get him on the speech and debate team here at Solano. That kid has the talent to be a national champion.
We're not going to get off this topic, are we?
Okay, back to baseball.
I mean, you started the Solano College sports program for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Well, that was, I mean, I wouldn't be the phenomenal speaker I am today if it wasn't for that. So, 2-2 pitch outside, count full. And, I mean, one last thing on that. You learned a lot of valuable lessons during that career, and it's definitely helped me get to where I am right now today.
You develop your public speaking skills. That's never a bad thing. You improve your ability to communicate. Never a bad thing.
Quick throw to first again. Fortney slides in safely, so the count's still full. One down. Colayton at the plate. 2 for 3 so far today. Scored 2 runs. Also has an RBI. 5 RBIs on the season for JQ.
Bennett has a pretty good move over to first, too.
There it is again. Fortney, minimal lead. Slides back easy, and Fortney.
He's getting tired of having to
it's part of the game.
dive on his belly. It's
Part
like those
of the
drills
game.
we used to do in football. Got to dive on your stomach and jump back up, run in place.
It's all part of the game. 3-2 just misses. So, 1 out walk. Fortney advances to second. JQ now at first. David Fernandez, the number 8 hitter, now coming up with runners on first and second. I can guarantee you this. If Stover puts on the bunt right here, Fernandez is going to have 2 horrible whiffs to get 2 strikes. I'm calling it.
Well, he takes that big, giant step towards the mound when he goes around to bunt. Well, we'd know right now.
You know who he looks like in the box? Nomar Garcia-Parra. Not saying he plays like him. Lanky, got the socks.
Let's see if he can hit like him.
First
He's been
pitch
hitting
there,
well.
strike 1.
Fernandez, that is. Garcia-Parra, no mar in the league.
Right? Our cameraman even was like, wow.
Yeah.
I liked it, kind of. I gave you a little chuckle. I liked it.
Any reaction is good.
I just remember that crazy game the Dodgers had against the Padres where they hit back-to-back home runs in the 9th to tie it, and then Nomar walk-off in the 10th. That's how far back I have to go for great Dodger memories. Fernandez smokes this one past the diving Connor Torres. Fortney held up by third base coach Tommy Pavesi, and excellent decision because number 22, Dayton Miller's got a cannon. That was a perfect throw to home by Miller. Pavesi did his homework and knew once 22 checked into the game, we're not running on this dude.
So Falcons' chance to add to their 4-run lead here in the bottom of the 7th.
Well, my Nomar comparison can't be too bad, right? Fernandez is now 3 for 4 so far today.
Oh, he's been solid with the bat. This whole season coming in hitting .316. 3 hits today, as you said.
And I think he's a guy that maybe could eventually move up to that number 2 spot in the order for Stover. And also, Stover likes to have some guys that can get on base in the bottom half of the order also, too. So
he's going to have to bunt a little bit better, though, to get in that 2 spot.
Yeah. First pitch over, strike 1 to Aaron Brasher, who is 0 for 2. But he's done a phenomenal job behind the plate, and that's all Stover needs out of his sophomore catcher, Aaron Brasher. But it's got to be frustrating for Brasher. He's 1 for 21 on the season.
Oh, what an opportunity right here. I think I said that last time, too, but
it was a nasty 0-2 pitch that got him looking last time. So the count's 1-1, 1 down, 8-4 the score. Falcons have the bases loaded. Fortney at third. Clayton at second. And Fernandez over at first. Tucker Bishop got robbed of a hit to start the inning off. Connor Torres made a dive-in play and a nice throw to first. Nice job by C.J. Owens to pick it up out of the dirt. Crosby reached on a single. Fortney came in to pinch run. Clayton got the walk. Fernandez just smoked a single past the third baseman Torres. Bases loaded, one down. Number 9 hitter Brasher up. 1-1 pitch. Nice pitch, outside corner, right at the knees. Count now 1-2. And Brasher's got to be thinking, man, I'm 1 for 21, and you're going to be throwing me those nasty pitches I can't do anything with. Jordan Tolbert on deck, 1 for 3. 3 RBIs for Jordan Tolbert. Hoping to get a chance here. 1-2. Brasher, infield fly. Don't even have to make the catch, but Torres does anyways for the second out. So Jordan Tolbert will now come up with the bases loaded. Delta had the bases loaded in the top half of the 7th and left the bases loaded.
Brasher that time, pretty good swing, just a little bit under the ball and pops it up. So Brasher back to the dugout, shaking his head. Just keep playing, baby. Hits are going to come. Keep doing a bang-up job behind the plate.
He's just glad he doesn't have to do any more interviews with us. I mean, that kid was frightened. And he did a great job.
Yeah, he's a good kid, too.
Very good kid. A lot of these kids are very good kids.
Good group here.
Nasty off-speed pitch. Tolbert out in front. Sean Bennett has come in and done a pretty good job here out of the pen for Delta. And I was impressed with Cody Lane's performance. I mean, I believe there was 5 errors when he was on the hill. 5 runs scored on him, but all of them were unearned.
Yeah, did not give up an unearned run today.
0-1, a little low. Count now 1-1 to the leadoff hitter, Jordan Tolbert. Batting .222 coming into today, but an on-base percentage at .417.
And this game, too, is really slowed down. Back in the 5th, it was 2:30, an hour and a half in. Now we're
hey, I forgot, we got NBA All-Star Weekend. We got to make some picks sometime before this game's over. I know you probably don't know anybody in the dunk contest, right? Pretty old.
Well,
you know
typically they put guys in that dunk contest that you don't know.
Come on.
Oh, I know Blake Griffin 2 years ago. Okay. Who won it last year?
Jeremy Evans. Dunked 2 balls in.
Yeah,
Same
who?
time. Jeremy Evans, the pogo stick down at Utah.
Yeah, but you ask most people, they're not going to know who he is and where he plays. DeRosa was in that, too, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. He won the dunk off. That was actually 2 years ago. Won the dunk off against Eric Gordon. Don't know why he was in it. The guy can barely dunk.
Put the best guys in that every year.
I tell you this, if LeBron
and
James,
then we'll watch
if LeBron James was in this dunk contest, he would still lose. It's a very talented group of dunkers here tonight. This one, weakly hit right at the second baseman, Stevie Robinson. So Delta scored 2 in the top half of the 7th, left the bases loaded. The Falcons don't get any runs on the board, leave the bases loaded. Falcons up 8-4, heading to the bottom of the 8th.
Here we go.
Top of the 8th. 8, 9, and 1 hitters due up here in the top half of the 8th. Delta down 8-4. Rudy Perez 1 for 2. Hits this one, foul territory. Tucker Bishop giving it a chase. And this one off the high fence out right by where the Falcons pitchers warm up. The funniest thing, I can't tell who the pitcher was from over here, but him and the catcher over there, they just took off running. They kind of panicked. It kind of reminded me, you know, you watch the Giant games and you got the let's just say the older people that are the ball boys basically.
And even that's Matt Mitchell. And he's warming up the relief pitcher, and he was even showing.
They ran into each other trying to get out of the way.
They did. Oh, that was funny.
So Drew Lamont still out there. Basically over the head of Rudy Perez there. Count 1-1. You going with Steph Curry tonight? Ryan Anderson's in it. Steve Novak, discount, double check. I'm going with Kyrie Irving in the upset. This one smoked. Fernandez with a leaping grab.
Put Fernandez in the dunk contest.
Okay, calm down.
He's got some hops.
Okay, he wouldn't even have dunked that on a 9-foot rim there, all right? Chill out over here, sir. But an excellent play. You know what? I'm going to pat myself on the back. I said the Nomar comparison. He's proved me right. 3 hits.
We got to get him in the weight room just a little bit, though. That kid's still pretty skinny.
Nomar wasn't the biggest dude.
Yeah, but
once he started juicing, maybe.
But still, a lot of
Just
these
joking.
kids are still developing.
Yeah.
18 years
What is
old.
Fernandez? 18, 19?
Probably. Yeah, because he's right out of high school.
It's probably 19-year-old.
Where'd
Or-
Fernandez go? Armio.
Armio.
Yep. Another good Armio ball player. Solano's had a lot of good kids out of Armio. Ethan Gibbons comes to mind right off the bat. And, of course, you were talking about Victor Romero. Excellent player. Nick Speeney currently playing. All kids out of Armio.
First pitch, ball one. And you're talking about Ethan Gibbons. Of course, starting at Missouri Baptist. They're 3-4 this year. In his 2 starts, he's got 2 wins, ERA at 2.08, 12 strikeouts, only 1 walk for Gibbons.
Wow.
1-0 inside, count 2-0. Patrick Johnson, Bubba Johnson, of course, as we used to call him. I used to call him the vacuum cleaner because nothing got by that guy at short. 308 average this year.
Oh, good. I thought you were saying he sucks.
5 runs scored for Patty Johnson. No errors. Meller, foul territory. Wells giving it to Chase. Not enough room. Excellent cam work there, Jeremy. And my boy, Jeremy Johnson, of course.
He's tearing it up.
He's going with Kenneth Farid in the dunk contest tonight. I've got T. Ross, Terrence Ross. This guy is phenomenal. You got Gerald Green and James White, 2 of the better dunkers in the NBA. Of course, they don't play that much, so not a lot of people are familiar with those guys. But I got Terrence Ross, former kid out of Washington, rookie this year with the Raptors. Kid's going to do some work. 2-1 low, so the count now 3-1 to Dayton Meller, who pinch hit in the last inning. Hit a double, came around to score.
The more I think about it, I think I'm still going to go with I don't care on the dunk contest. Let's get a bunch of scrubs.
This one tagged to center. Tolbert going back about 5 feet
Tolbert
in
out
front
there.
of the warning track. That one was well hit, but this is a tough place to get it out of the ballpark. To get a little zoom-in shot at Jordan Tolbert having himself a game here today. 3 RBIs for Tolbert, and he's made a ton of plays in the outfield.
And he's looking right into the sun as well.
Okay, I've been wanting to get this out here. Eastern New Mexico University. Got to give some props to the pitching coach, Dustin Crenshaw's little brother, Derek Crenshaw. So far this year, he's batting .750 with 5 RBIs. As this one hit right to Quilayton. So an easy 1-2-3 inning. I'm going to have to finish my Crenshaw story in the bottom half
I
of
wish
the
they
8th.
would cooperate with our storytelling, right? At
Falcons.
least extend the at-bat.
And now you're getting a little story time we're supposed to cut out. 8-4 Falcons, bottom of the 8th. Here we come. So bottom of the 8th. Top of the order. Actually, 2, 3, and 4 due up here in the bottom of the 8th. Torres lead off. Zach Wells due up next. Nick Speeney due up 3rd in the inning. Torres got hit right in the upper part of the arm in his first at bat. How would you like that? Hey, go grab a helmet, get in there, and get plucked. James Harris, 4th pitcher used for Delta, comes in. Lanky righty. Freshman out of Bear River. I believe that's where Zach Wells is from also, right? Yep.
Yep.
So they probably played together in high school. Very familiar with each other. Guess who's on deck? Torres smokes this one past the diving third baseman and the diving shortstop. That ball had eyes right between the shortstop and the third baseman. Leadoff single for Torres. He's been on base safely twice so far.
And talking about Wells last time up, he hit the ball in the exact same spot, just beyond the reach of a diving Torres over at third.
Now batting, right fielder, number 6, Zach Wells.
So after this game, the Falcons will have 4 more conference games.
Non-conference.
That's what I mean, yeah. Good save, sir.
You're welcome.
Monterey on the 19th. This Tuesday, we'll be bringing you that game. I believe Zach and Stosh
Yeah.
be holding down the fort.
Oh, he's out by a mile.
So Torres erased after the single. Never had a chance. So 1 down now here in the inning. I was looking down. Did he get picked off, or was it a throw from the catcher? Okay, he got picked off. Our cameraman's paying attention. I guess he got you on the camera, so.
And that's hard because with that one camera, you've got the battery in front, and you got to swing over, pan over to get what's going on at first.
I made the cardinal sin. My head was down. You can't do that. Counts 1-1 to Zach Wells, the former high school teammates at Bear River. Zach Wells batted .313 in his senior season at Bear River High. Only struck out 3 times in his senior season. This one weakly hit, shallow center. Steve under it easily. So 2 up, 2 down after Torres got picked off. Zach Wells, weak fly out to center. Nick Spini, 1 for 4 now coming up with nobody on. 2 down, bottom of the 8th.
Number 11, Nick Spini.
Boy, the wind just never really picked up. It started getting a little breezy back in the 5th, 6th innings, but a little bit of a breeze towards left, but just not much impact at all on the game. As you said, Zach, wait until March here at Billy and Louise Yarborough Stadium.
Spini takes the first pitch, inside corner, strike 1. And getting it back to Derek Crenshaw, of course. 750 batting average this year, playing for Eastern New Mexico University. And his first year there in 2012. Finished the year batting .292 with 1 bomb, 13 RBIs, and a slugging percentage at .753. This one chopped to the Delta dugout. 0-2 the count with 2 down. Cool, I got it out. Was hoping
Nice
to get
job.
that done. So once again, Anthony Pizzola in line to get his first win on the season. First time. This year he's gone 6 innings. In both his previous starts went 5 innings at DVC in the season opener. And against San Mateo went 5 1/3. Spini, nice cut, fouled straight back. Count stays 0-2.
And we were talking during the break, if Falcons hang on, we're going to start interviewing Solano players after a win.
We're not going to say who just yet. I don't want to have any, no jinx, okay? We're not going to go Giants 2002 on y'all. When Dusty Baker handed the ball to Russ Ortiz when the game wasn't even over. Next thing you know, a little monkey comes out and the Angels take down Game 6. Spini chops this one third baseline. Foul ball.
And even worse in JUCO baseball, where no lead is safe.
A lot of Solano's wins have come when they're trailing in the 9th inning. The game you did against San Mateo, right, when they won 7-6, weren't they down 6-3 or 6-2?
Yep, won that one. Won the game against Mission, I believe. With Mission, they scored in the bottom of the 8th. And then Altman came in, shut the door in the top of the 9th, struck out the last 2 guys.
Altman tied for second in the BVC with 2 saves on the year.
And you can catch all of those games on our Solano College Sports Network on our YouTube channel.
0-2 at the number. Spini got a piece, fouled it straight back. And also, too, every Thursday, if you're not here at the game.
That's right.
4 to 6 p.m., just do a Google search, KSFS Radio. You can check me out on the radio, San Francisco State College Run Station. If you're a big sports fan, tune in the show. We break down everything nationally and locally. Spini fouls this one straight back. Count stays at 0-2.
And that's 4 to 6 on
4 to 6
Thursdays,
p.m. every
right?
Thursday. Poff Poff Pass / quadruple play. Me, my older brother, JT Blaze, a.k.a. Jake Poff, along with my boy, Dominic Jimenez.
And that Dom kid's funny.
He's
Your show on Thursday I thought was outstanding. A lot of good content, but also pretty doggone funny.
I'm there for the content. They're there for the humor.
That Dom kid has some good impersonations.
0-2, a little high outside, count now 1-2. So every Thursday, 4 to 6 p.m. Check it out. If you're a big sports fan, you'll enjoy it. You'll like it. Also, too, check out my YouTube page. Got all interviews with a ton of the Solano baseball players. Want to check that out. 1-2, Spini fouls this one off the top of his foot.
Spini, tough kid. Just that thing went off the arch of his foot, and you know how painful that is.
Well, when he broke his wrist last year, he
kind of frowned.
He didn't even look like he was in pain. He was more upset because he knew what happened. He knew the season was just about done for him when he broke his wrist playing first last year. He didn't even look like he was in pain. He was more frustrated. Weekly hit, third baseline. This time,
The Solano guys don't get out of the way quite as quickly,
this time
do they?
Mitchell does a better job not panicking and running into his pitcher. So the count stays at 1-2. Harris gave up a leadoff single to Gio Torres. Torres got tagged out at second. Zach Wells then flew out to Tyler Steve in center. 1-2, just a little off the plate. Count now 2-2.
And it looks like Altman warming up in the bullpen, so I would expect we'll see him in to close things down in the 9th inning.
And Mike Duma did a phenomenal job coming in. 1 1/3 inning, no earned. 2-2 low, so good job by Spini. Fell down the count 0-2, fouled off a couple. Now all of a sudden it's 3-2.
Yeah, Duman has done a solid job in the 3 appearances this season.
Nick Spini, also another guy out of Armio. Hit .367 with 1 homer, 18 RBIs senior year. This one smoked.
Gapper.
Left center. Someone's going shopping at the gap. Gets all the way to the wall. Speeney, stand-up double.
So Speeney getting the start at first base, having a pretty solid game. Couple hits and an RBI. Not too shabby.
Now batting.
And you know who's even happier?
Number 1.
Scott Stover. He loves this kid having at first base. I mean, if Stover elects to keep Speeney at DH the whole season, he will be deaf before the season's over. No ifs, ands, or buts. Speeney's even nodding his head agreeing with us. He heard us. He's probably talking to himself right now. Look at him. Tucker Bishop looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 4 so far this afternoon. Bottom of the 8th, 2 down, 8-4. Speeney in scoring position after the 2-out double. James Harris, the freshman out of Bear River, retired the first 2. Or actually, Torres got the single, but then retired himself trying to steal second. Tucker Bishop 0 for 4, looking for his first hit. This pitch is low. Good job by Devin Chensey there to keep it in front of him, not allow Speeney to get to third.
Devin Chansey's been solid behind the plate for the Mustangs.
And usually the Big 8 Conference is the powerhouse. The Bay Valley Conference has more teams, over 500, than any other conference so far this year. And these are all non-conference games, so you can't say it's, oh, they're playing within the division. The Bay Valley Conference has arguably been one of the better conferences in all of Northern California. Hey, I'm still riding with the Big 8. The Big 8 is the best conference in Northern California.
The last 3 state titles,
Exactly.
they've all been out of the Big 8 Conference. Actually, I take that back. Ohlone, not out of the Big 8. 2 of the last 3.
Tucker Bishop barely checks his swing. Count 2-1.
Consumnes River won last year, and
Stover's,
Delta won the year before that.
Stover's alma mater. 92 and 93 was raking for Consumnes River. He had to be a power hitter, right? He's a big dude.
If I'm not mistaken, he was an outfielder.
2-1. Bishop hits this one right at C.J. Owens. Makes a catch just in foul territory. So Bishop 0 for 5. Does not matter one bit. Falcons up by 4. 3 outs to go. Top of the 9th. Here we come, baby. Nick Altman comes out of the pen. The Falcons closer this season. Non-save situation for Nick Altman. The sophomore righty out of Benicia High. First pitch inside to Stevie Robinson. Robinson got his first hit in his last at-bat, now 1 for 4 on the afternoon. And important first at-bat for Altman. Don't want to give Delta any hope. You want to stop any type of rally, and the first out to the leadoff hitter is huge for a pitcher. Falls behind 2-0 to Stevie Robinson. Nick Altman been phenomenal this year. 2-0 fastball, outside corner, strike 1. 4th appearance on the season for Nick Altman. Has not allowed an earned run this year. No record to show for, but does have 2 saves. A closer for this Falcon squad. He's worked 3 innings this year. Has only allowed 3 hits. 4 strikeouts, no walks. A 2-1 fastball. Outside corner, strike 2. So after falling behind Robinson, 2-0. Count now even at 2-2. Stevie Robinson, the sophomore out of Lincoln High. Stepped out of the box for a sec. Jordan Devin Chesney on deck. 2-2 fastball outside corner. Robinson takes it looking, so 1 up, 1 down for Nick Altman. And Nick Altman taking the place of Drew Lamont, who was phenomenal coming out of the pen. He went 1 1/3, no earned runs, and got out of a tight jam in the 7th inning. Got the last out with the bases loaded in the 7th, the biggest out of the game for Solano. Nick Altman, usually the closer, of course, non-save situation. 2 outs to go to get Solano their 5th win on the season. And this one just clipped Jordan Devin Chensey's jersey, so he's awarded first base. And that is the first batter that Nick Altman has hit this season. Nick Altman, a guy that has really good control and was just trying to work the inside part of the plate, just barely got the jersey of Devin Chenzi. White Castro, the number 4 hitter, the DH, now up. Devin Chenzi at first with 1 out. 1 for 4 on the afternoon. First pitch misses, count 1-0. So Devin Chenzi had himself a pretty good game here today. 3 for 4. Been on base safely 4 times. One 0. Little outside, so the count now 1-1 to Castro. Connor Torres on deck. And all Delta's trying to do here is get the tying run up to the plate. So the count now 3-0. And you can bet Castro is taking no matter what on this pitch and the next pitch. You need to get runners on base if you're Delta here, down by 4. You've already got Devin Chenzi at first after getting hit by the pitch. 3-0. Just catches the corner of the plate, so the count now 3-1. And unless this pitch is right down the middle, you have to suspect Castro taking all the way. 3-1 from Altman. Right down the middle, nice cut, fouled it straight back. Counts full. So Altman struck out Stevie Robinson looking. The very next pitch to Jordan Devin Chenzi. Just got him by the jersey. Hit by pitch. First of the season for Altman. White Castro, full count, 1 out. This one hit weakly to second. Clayton catches it. Throw over to first for the game-ending double play as Devin Chenzi was on the move with the full count. And that is how this one ends. Nice win for the Solano Falcons. And it's the first time they have beaten Delta since the 2008 regular season when they won 5-4. This time they take it down 8-4. Anthony Pizzola gets his first win on the season. And the losing pitcher here today is Cody Lane, and tough for Cody Lane. He pitched really well today. Just bad defense really cost him. Allowed 5 runs, but none of those 5 runs were earned or charged to Cody Lane. But the story of the game, Anthony Pizzola. 6 innings strong, gave up 2 runs. Only 1 of those runs were earned. Anthony Pizzola was really the story of the game. Most importantly, kid gets his first W on the season.
Yeah, and I think, Zach, we said this before, could be his first community college victory as a pitcher. And Anthony Pizzola is going to be our guest, folks.
And I tried to put up a little argument. I said David Fernandez had a good chance, maybe.
He did.
But we elected, the kid's a freshman. He'll get his opportunity here. We're going with Anthony Pizzola. What's his famous nickname you gave him?
The Pez Dispenser.
And don't worry, folks. We're going to ask him. We're going to ask him about
Pizzola?
that. And, of course, the pitching coach comes over.
Yeah, he's
Dustin
glad,
Crenshaw.
too. We got one of his guys coming up. And boy,
I would have liked it if Pavesi would have came up and we yelled out a pitcher. I wonder what his reaction would have been. So, once again, the final score here, Falcons win 8-4, now 5-2 overall. And they've been phenomenal in non-conference games so far. And Delta, second loss only on the season, ends their 3-game winning streak. They're now 5-2 on the season. So, Solano and Delta split the season series 1-1. And who knows? Long way to go. But very well, these two teams could be playing again in the playoffs. So once again, we'll be right back. We got an interview with Anthony Pizzola coming right up here on Solano College Sports Network. So we're here with the stud pitcher, Anthony Pizzola. 6 innings strong, only allowed 6 hits. Get your first win of the season, but you've had 3 phenomenal starts. How are you feeling out there on the hill today?
I felt good today. Just had a little tough spots, innings here and there. But I have my outfielders and my infield just making all the plays for me.
What's it like when you see your guys scoring runs for you early on? What does that do for your confidence as a pitcher?
It does a lot. It felt great today. Finally get some run support. We've had a lot of close games, and it's nice to put up 8 today.
So, talk about Dustin Crenshaw. What has he meant to this squad here to help out the pitching rotation for you guys, especially you? I mean, this is your first year really focusing on starting pitching. What has Crenshaw done for you to get you that confidence? You've been dominated here in your first 3 starts for the Falcons.
Crenshaw does a lot for us. I've known Crenshaw for a long time. Me and his brothers used to be real close friends, and he helps me a lot mentally. Keeps me in the game, makes sure that I focus on every pitch, and just keeps my head in there.
So you were part of the team last year, and you missed the playoffs. It's the first time under Stover that they missed the playoffs in 7 years. What's it feel like now this year? You guys are off to a phenomenal 5-2 start. What's the difference in the clubhouse now? Is there much of a difference now with, you know, a little bit of more sophomore leadership this year?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of sophomores this year. Last year we didn't really have that leadership mentality, and now there's a lot of guys that have been here 3-4 years, like myself, JQ, Roundtree, Dooman. We've been here a long time. Ben Dyke also. We keep each other's heads up during the game and the dugout and all that, and we just try to stay on top of the younger guys. So it's just easy when you have a lot of leadership out there.
I gotta ask you, 8-4, 7th inning. You're thinking, I gotta get this. I gotta get a W, right?
Yeah.
You got the bases loaded. Are you nervous in there watching that?
I am. I'm very nervous.
You got any superstitious things you're doing in there, or are you just watching?
I tend to just
don't lie. Don't lie.
If I have my jacket a certain way the inning before, I like to wear it the same way. Try to get out of an inning, and just hope. I don't want to be selfish or anything, but I wanted that win.
Pitchers
badly.
are always selfish, right?
Not all the time, but we tend to be.
All right, so I want to ask, whose decision was it to turn you into a pitcher this year? Because you played a little bit of outfield, kind of utility last year. Was it your idea, or was it more Stover?
Well, actually, I was recruited to play pitcher my first year here, and then I tore my shoulder in the 3rd game of the season. And then last year I wasn't fully recovered, so I asked Stover, since he's always liked my swing a little bit, if I could just play third a little bit, maybe mix in wherever, utility guy. And then this year I was more 100%, so I just wanted to get back into the pitching mode.
So the shoulder's 100%. Obviously, we can see you've had 3 phenomenal starts this year. Let's talk about Ryan Anderson a little bit. He's got off to a slow start this year. How's he feeling? Is he the same Ryan Anderson, or is it kind of getting to him a little bit?
Anderson's the same guy. It's just, you know that he's going to find it eventually. He's just gonna go out there and start pumping. I just feel it. Everyone has confidence in Anderson. He's still the ace on the team. We just can't wait to see him go out there and start shoving.
How does it feel for you, though? I mean, Stover knew coming in that Ryan Anderson was the #1 guy. And then after that, it was kind of up for grabs, #2. You've come out throwing blows, baby, and you've earned that #2 spot. How does that feel for you to go out and earn that #2 spot?
It feels great, you know. I like to go out there and just deal, but also got #3, Nick Driscoll, breathing down my neck. He's been pitching real well. I think he has 14 innings or something, no earned. So I gotta still lock down the spot, continue pitching well.
So defense sometimes been a little shaky, though. I just want to ask you, as a pitcher, what do you feel like when someone makes an error? Do you kind of want to do more yourself to help your teammate out, or are you a little frustrated? What's the feeling as a pitcher when you see error behind you?
You get frustrated, but you know, just keep pitching, get another ground ball. Trust that the guy's going to make it again the next time. And this early in the season, you know they're going to find it more. They're going to start getting more routine with them.
Okay, listen, I didn't come up with the nickname, but Greg Poff, the guy that started Solano College Sports Network, he's got a nickname for you. The Pez dispenser.
All right.
Do you like it?
I do. I used to joke around with some friends and tell them that my great-grandfather invented Pez just to get them going a little, so I kind of like it.
Hey, well, my great-grandfather invented the nickname Pez dispenser, so we got something in common there. All right, Anthony,
good.
I'll let you get back to helping your crew clean up.
All right.
Great performance. I'm pretty sure we'll be interviewing later down the year, too, all right?
Have a good one.
So that wraps us up here. The Falcons take it down 8-4. Anthony Pizzola, the horse, 6 innings, gets his first win on the season. Once again, thanks for checking us out here, Solano College Sports Network. Thanks to Greg Poff, also Jeremy Johnson rocking the camera, and myself, Zach Poff. We out, baby. Kyrie Irving winning the 3-point contest. You heard it here first.